What's up, everybody? For those of you that are here, welcome to the very first episode of my podcast. If you can hear me over that loud-ass fucking music. Let's kick that down a little bit. There we go. Sorry, first time. But yeah, what is going on? This is a little bit different than I expected this to be, and please forgive the super janky surroundings. This was not how it was supposed to look until around 3 o'clock today. That's when I found out it was going to be looking like this. So pretty much everything you see on here today or tonight is from I put together since about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was actually just working on it still on some of the stuff in the background in the studio while that was going. So, anywho, so yeah, my first podcast. Glad quite a few of you, well, for me at least, have turned in so far. I'm gonna I don't know how long this will be. It's not gonna be like super long like my streams or anything, but I'm just gonna kind of give you guys an idea of how this is gonna work each week. And I'm also going to go through a few of the things. I've got some stuff queued up, some news and things like that. And I'll defer to the chat in a few spots, especially since it's just me. It was not originally supposed to be just me. Let me start at the beginning. Real quick, though, before I get started, we got Short and Sweet here, per usual. What's up, Short and Sweet? And Jared from JBuck Studio. What's up, my man? The set design, though, yeah, I know, especially this table. It just looks like it's right there, doesn't it? It's very believable. Yeah, we'll get into that in just a minute, but I was actually just in Jared's live stream, and I was kind of jealous, Jared, because I had all my stuff up, everything I was going to go over pulled up and ready, and a lot of the things you talked about in yours, I'm going to be talking about in mine, so I didn't steal them, I promise, even though since you're here, I assume yours is over now. I had to skip out just a few minutes ago, but okay, so yeah, this is my podcast, or JARcast, Jacob Anders Reviews Cast. I had to come up with a catchy name, okay? I don't know how catchy it is, but it's something, so there it is. The original idea, well, first of all, I wanted to do this because I've enjoyed doing the live streaming thing on Wednesdays, but it's always centered around a game, and I enjoy the games, but I've wanted to talk about movies. I like talking about movies, clearly, because that's the focus of my channel, besides the whole Wednesday thing with the games, and those games are usually kind of movie-related in some way, but I've wanted to... I like talking about movies, and while I do talk about them in review form, a lot of the time, I don't ever get to just talk to you guys about movies unless it's in the comments. So I said, hey, do a podcast about movies. I've been thinking about doing it for quite a while. I didn't think I really had the audience for it. Don't know if I have the audience for it yet, but fuck it. I said, let's go ahead and get started. So here I am. I've been working on it for a while, which can be a little frustrating since a lot of that stuff just got scrapped this afternoon, but there's no real... I have a structure I put together. I was trying to structure the shit out of this thing, and then I said, that doesn't work for you. Don't do that. Just do some stuff. I've got a mild structure, but just do some stuff, see what works, and then take it from there. Each week, I'm going to try this out for at least a few weeks and see how it goes, see how I like it, see how you guys like it. If it works, I'll keep doing it. If it doesn't, well, I won't. But I'm going to just kind of do things and see what works, and whatever works, I'll keep doing and slowly form a show around it. I plan on having guests. If I can find people in the YouTube community, or not just YouTube, I just guess in the commentator, entertainment commentator, movie reviewers and stuff like that. Some of my peers try and have guests come on through Skype, Teams, whatever, and talk about movies every week or so or whatever. I plan on doing this once a week. I'm probably, it was going to be Tuesdays, but like I said, a lot of stuff changed today. I almost canceled this, but I know I had told some people, hey, I'm recording it today. I was originally supposed to record this, pre-record the first one, and then put it out, and all the other ones would be live. After today's events, I just said, fuck it, I'm going live. I'm doing it live. But yeah, that's really the basic gist of it right there. I just wanted to come and talk movies with people and just talk about current events and movies and things like that. I'm not going to talk about everything, every single news thing, of course. But I've got a few things to talk about this week. We're going to look at a trailer or two, and I plan on having a focus each show as well. The focus I had lined up for this week isn't going to work out. I'll explain that in a moment why. But I plan on having a big focus of the show and then other things around it, like, some of the news and things like that. The focus this week is probably going to be mainly the news and a few things and just some thoughts and stuff there. But, so yeah, your average podcast, nothing new. You guys have seen this before. So why the live show now? I'd always planned on eventually doing this live and then cutting it up and kind of giving a more condensed version to people that wanted to watch it later after the fact. Cutting out like all the interactions with everybody and everything, because when people are rewatching it, they're not there. They don't see that. So cut that stuff out and some of the fat and just put a condensed version and then throw an audio version up on the audio podcast providers and stuff like that, which I plan on still doing all that. However, I was going to have a co-host. It was going to be me and someone else. I'm not going to go into details, but unfortunately that fell through. At the very last minute, been working on it for a while, but it was a last minute thing. I understand why. I get it, but it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Make the best of it. That's why I decided today, fuck it, man. Just do it live. You know what? You can either cancel it and push this thing out you've been talking about to the viewers you do have and yourself for so long. Just keep talking about doing it, or just fucking do it. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Since and I've done a similar thing like this every Wednesday for the past few months, I just figured I might as well do it live now. The reason I was wanting to pre-record was because it was all new, and I was going to have 2 audio inputs and multiple video inputs and all that stuff. But so no, not doing that. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I even had set up this whole thing. Check it out. I was going to be able to have different camera views and angles. Actually, we were going to have multiple cameras. Well, I'll bring that one in. Make it a little bit more personal. Hey, how you doing? We're a little closer now. But anyway, I do like that. This looks a little better than that other view I had a minute ago. Even though it seems like the desk, the table, this table I got going on here in this background is really fucking high. Apparently, it's like way up here. I'm like a little kid. Hey, look at me. I'm doing a podcast. Anyway, that fell through, and because of that, I had the show set up around 2 people doing it. A lot of what I had was set up around that and some of the stuff I had with the other person. But since they're not going to be here now, is what it is. So I had to kind of throw a show together, and seeing as how I've never even done a show, and now I'm having to throw together a whole nother show, that was interesting. But like this background and everything, we had a total, like a real, not background, it was just my dining room table. We were going to work on it, but it was going to be 2 of us, so it worked out. I didn't feel good about just sitting over there at my dining room table or just a green screen, so I threw this whole thing together last minute. So that's why that all looks like that. But yeah, so let me see. I had introductions on here as the next thing to do. I don't think I need to introduce anybody because it's just me. So anywho, though, like I said a minute ago, though, I do, especially now that it's just going to be me for the foreseeable future, unless I can find someone who can regularly tune in with me once a week. It's probably just going to be me and getting a different guest. So if you guys know any people, these are really glaring. I don't need them right now. I need them when I read. But if you guys know any people, or if you guys are interested, anybody who's interested in being a guest and just shooting the shit and talking about movies for an hour or less or whatever, let me know. Just send me a message on DM through Twitter or Facebook, whatever, wherever. I'm all over the place. But so, sorry, this is really just all over the place, and that's why, because I'm prepared. Anywho, so let's just jump right into it, I guess, because like I said, my structure is totally fucked at this point, and I'm just going to be shooting from the hip. So hopefully this works out. It's not a total fucking disaster. If it is, it's not like it's on a platform where millions and millions of people can see me look like a fucking idiot. Who do we have here? Still short, sweet, J-Buck. Hell yeah, man. Build it and people will come. I hope so, Jared. I hope so. You did. People come to yours, so I'm hoping I can get there too. Glad you did it. Thank you, Short. We have Kratos. Oh, Kratos guy. Yeah, you showed up in one of my streams one time. Hey, how you doing? I watch your live stream every week. You keep it going. Thanks. Well, you showed up in my live stream more than once, apparently. I've seen your name over there before. And Hell Knight number 1's here. Hey, what's up? All right, so, okay. So I guess let's just jump right into the news. I don't have any bumpers or anything prepared yet. I had one, but it doesn't really work with this setup, and I don't have it in here. So sorry about that. So it's going to be kind of janky. Like I said, I'll try and make it as sexy as possible. Let's take it out to this. Hey, look at that. The different camera angles. See, I'm high tech. Anyway, I hate this view. This looks fucking terrible. I'm sorry. I don't fit this background or something, but anyway, moving on. So yeah, this week in the news, some of this stuff was at the end of last week. Some of this stuff is right now. I tried to pick some stuff that a lot of you would know or be aware of, and then some things that maybe people didn't know, because if you knew all the news I was going to talk about, that seems like it'd be kind of fucking boring. And let's pull this up. The first thing on the agenda, I do not, if Jared's still here, he was talking about vagina candles. Unfortunately, I do not have any information about vagina candles, but I would like to get some, because that sounds like a good time. But first thing on the list, and the thing I want to talk about that I'm really excited about, I'm excited and a bit scared, would be the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out this year. Yeah, this year now. We're in 2021. Let's change this to a nicer look. And that's not it. See? Unprepared. Hey, there we go. Okay, so yeah, there's a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out in 2021. They've been working on this thing for a while. Been teasing it. It's a quote-unquote R-rated Mortal Kombat. That's going to bother me. Hang on. Sorry. Yeah, no, this is very professional. Just take that out there. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we got a new Mortal Kombat movie finally coming out that's going to be an R-rated Mortal Kombat movie. As far as I know, it hasn't been rated by the MPAA first as of yet, but they're shooting for an R. They feel pretty good about getting that R rating. It's all new actors, none of the same people. It is not a sequel to the 1995 or the abysmal 1997 movie. It's just it's a reboot. They've been talking about this shit for the longest. They even had that thing that went around YouTube, that little short film that was made called Mortal Kombat Rebirth around 2013 that was badass. It was kind of like a concept trailer / short film, if you will. And that ended up being made into, what was it? The Mortal Kombat Legacy, I think. It was a web series that was, I guess, R-rated or whatever. But that was pretty cool. It had some pretty cool. I liked how they portrayed a lot of the characters in that. Better than definitely better than Annihilation. Better than anything had, with the exception of maybe the 95 movie. The 95 movie is really cheesy and corny, but it works. It just works just right. But those were probably the most accurate representations thus far in, video form that we've gotten of these characters, was the Mortal Kombat Legacy or the Mortal Kombat Rebirth short film. But this one's supposed to be that R-rated Mortal Kombat that they've been talking about for the longest. It's coming out in March 16th, I think it said now. It's probably in here somewhere. But March 16th is coming out. We got our first pictures through Entertainment Weekly from it. And this is the first things we've really seen that weren't like a few like grainy on set photos and things like that. And the new logo. I'm not a fan of the new logo, by the way. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's March 16th. We'll look at that in a minute. But it's coming to theaters, of course, and, well, not nowadays, but it is coming to theaters, but it is also coming to HBO Max on day one. And this whole Warner Brothers deal where everything's coming to HBO Max and theaters day one, I got to think that that's really going to do things for their numbers, especially once they start releasing all these movies, because I think they got, like, the Fast and the Furious. Wait, that's not Warner Brothers, sorry, that's Universal. But they got King Kong versus Godzilla. They got Mortal Kombat, the Matrix 4, which we've seen absolutely nothing for, but it's coming. They've got all these big, huge tentpole movies, plus a bunch of smaller movies too that are, besides going to a theater, they'll be day one on HBO Max, and I think that's really cool. I mean, I enjoy the theater experience, but hell, you can't beat that. It's right there, a brand new movie in your living room. But Mortal Kombat. So we got this picture right here of, if any Mortal Kombat fans in the room will know who these two are. At least this one definitely. This is Kung Lao. It looks very game authentic. It looks like they're honoring the game the way he looks, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. If you try and keep things too close to the source material when it comes to video game movies, they can come off wrong. And believe me, I know, because I've reviewed almost every single video game movie ever made so far. But this, I'm pretty sure this is Liu Kang. It looks like Liu Kang's got the fire going on and all that. Not sure about that fire right there. It's a little suspect, but whatever. It's a still. It's a pre-production. Well, not a pre-production image. Looks like final. But, they look cool. I'm happy with that. Just looking at an image, I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever. Now, one thing I will say before we look at the next picture is apparently this movie's main character is not going to be any of the characters from that we know. It's an all-new character made just for the movie, which will probably show up in the next game too, I imagine. But I think his name's down in here somewhere. But it's an all-new character. That scares me. It could work out great. Or it could not. It could fail miserably, and it could be a generic character that's just trying to be the audience and just trying to be the person for us to know what's going on in this world. And he could just be a Mary Sue, if you will, or whatever, just a character that has no meaning, no purpose, no background. And you're talking about a series that has a ton of background to it and tons of lore built around it, especially its characters. And you're going to bring in a brand new character for the main character. That just sounds kind of, I don't know. That's suspect, but it's also that's ballsy. So I hope they feel really good about this character that they've created here. But we got right here, this looks, I'm pretty sure, because it says that I also read that the movie is going to begin in feudal Japan before Sub-Zero and Scorpion were Sub-Zero and Scorpion, when they were just their human counterparts, and it's going to show all that. So I'm assuming that's what this is. We got a little yellow there. I'm assuming that's Scorpion. This is Sub-Zero, got a blue hue. I'm colorblind, so I could be wrong there. There's something about a knife it mentioned up here. That's going to be the center of the game. Where did it go? The blood. Oh, I missed it. It's in here somewhere. I don't have my glasses on. Anyway, there's some knife. There's a knife that had something to do with Scorpion's wife or something like that, and that's going to be a big central part of the game. But yeah, that looks fine. Once again, it's a picture. I don't know. I'm not offended by it. I don't look at it and go, okay, we got problems. I'm cool with that. But then we get down here. This guy, I think this is the new character. Maybe Johnny Cage. I don't think that's Johnny Cage. I think that this is that new character I was talking about. And if I actually read, oh yeah, Cole, that's his name. Cole, I don't know. Cole's his name. Cole is our main character, and he's a down on his luck, washed up MMA fighter who used to be a champion. He could have been a contender, but now he's not. He's down on his luck. He's like doing some cage fighting or something, it looks like. So this is our main character. Get used to this face if you're looking forward to watching the Mortal Kombat movie, because this is the face you're going to be following for the most part. I don't know. Like I said, I expressed my grievances for that. It could be great. but it could also be terrible. And I don't know if it could be anywhere in the middle. You're talking about a beloved series here that already has one movie that many people still consider one of the best video game movies ever made, and some people say the best. And now you're doing a reboot of it, and you're changing a lot of stuff. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna call judgment on it until I see it, and I'm gonna go in with an open mind. I'm a huge MK fan, so I hope for the best. I mean, they've announced they've brought new characters into that series throughout the years, and some of them work, some of them didn't. I'm just hoping this is a time when it actually works. Before we go on to the next one, let's see. We got Kratos Spies news report with Jacob. Yeah, I guess so. J-Book said, I remember I was in on that short film. You were in on that short film? You were in it? Or you're in on it? Wait. I'm lost. Oh, wow. Curious if you're going to be a HBO Max or theater person for these films. I'll probably do HBO Max for some of them and theater for some, depending on what the situation is at that time. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I don't know how the theaters... There's theaters still open in my area. If they're still open then, some of these movies, like a big spectacle movie, if I can, I'm going to go see it in theaters. But some of the smaller movies, I'll watch at home. Like this, I'd like to see Mortal Kombat in the theater. That's a big, because Mortal Kombat means a lot to me. I've been following that series since the first game came out. I was a huge fan of the games in the arcade. I remember going and discovering that game when it first came out, just everybody being huddled around it and blown away by how amazing it looked. You look back at it now and you're like, eh. But, back then it was, before that we had Street Fighter. So, and I've been a huge fan ever since, played every one of the games, watched the movies, loved the first movie. The second movie's fucking terrible, though. The TV show, didn't love it, but I watched it. All the animated things. So I'm just a really big fan of Mortal Kombat. So, yeah, I do want to go see this one in theaters. As far as, I know Kong versus Godzilla comes to mind. I want to see that in theaters. I like we'll get to that in a few minutes. But that's another one I probably want to see in theaters. I can't remember everything they have coming up. The Matrix, I want to see it. Like the big tentpole, the big ones, I would like to see those in theaters if the theater situation works out for me. Kratos Spy said, I still need to watch The Matrix 1. Wow, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. The other two, part 2 and 3, I like them, but I understand their faults. But the first one is amazing. You have to watch the fucking Matrix 1. That movie is fucking amazing. Yeah, Hell Knight said it's awesome. Why haven't you seen everybody's giving Kratos Spy shit. What the fuck? You haven't seen The Matrix? Can't wait for Mortal Kombat 4, the movie with all the beautiful bad voice acting. It might not have bad. Some of the Mortal Kombats have good voice. I ain't gonna lie. Even the new Mortal Kombats, as awesome as they are, they're like super. I almost feel like it's intentional. It's like the voice acting is all over the top. It's not bad in like the Resident Evil 1 sense, bad voice acting, but it's like all like super over the top and theatrical. You think they're performing this shit like on a stage or something. Like Raiden especially, he's just always like blah, 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 like really big. It's kind of funny. Can't wait. If and when that theme song kicks in, yeah, that's something we need to talk about. I will be pumped. Yes, Jared. Yes, the thing I do want. I bet they won't put it in there. I bet they'll reference it somewhere. Either that or they'll have some new remix by like fucking Fallout Boy or something. I don't know, but which will be blasphemy. But I bet they'll reference it. But I'm wondering if it'll be like, oh, they reference it in the credits, or if it's just I don't think they're actually going to throw it in there. It doesn't seem like that's the vibe they're going for. Or maybe we'll hear it in the background or something. I don't think it's going to be like a central theme to the movie like it was in the first movie. That's a central... That song is a central theme to the fucking 90s, man. The Mortal Kombat song is the theme song. Techno Syndrome, by the way, is... It's just fucking amazing. You cannot help but want to get up and shake your ass when you hear that song. Do you have MK11? I do have MK11. I have all the MK. I have a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine right in my studio. Actually, when I do my reviews, I think it's on this. Yeah, if you're looking off to the left of me, literally that far off screen is a Mortal Kombat arcade machine. Mortal Kombat 2 arcade machine. So yeah, I like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2 is the best one, by the way. I was excited for it and loved the aesthetic. Mortal Kombat? Yes. I don't get the love for the first Mortal Kombat movie. I mean, it's got its flaws for sure. It is not perfect, but it's cheesy as shit. But it's that right amount of cheesy, and you could tell when they were making it. I mentioned this stuff in my review. I reviewed this movie a while back, but they knew what they were doing. They knew it was cheesy, and I think Anderson, when he was making it, he knew, I'm not being allowed to make this movie rated R, so I need to lean on something else. And he played into the campiness, but he wasn't. They did it on purpose. It was cool, but kind of it didn't take itself too seriously. But it didn't take itself too seriously, but it took the lore and the fans and the property seriously. And I think it was just right. It was kind of lightning in a bottle. It's not perfect, and part of that might be because I grew up with I didn't grow up with it. I was a teenager when it came out, but I grew up with Mortal Kombat, and when that movie came out, it was just like fucking insane. Everybody was losing their minds to go see this movie, and going into that theater, and the New Line Cinema symbol comes up, and you hear Mortal Kombat, because that whole Mortal Kombat thing, that came from a commercial. That started with a commercial, and then they took it from the commercial and put it in that song. But yeah, it was like fucking, we were hyped. We were in there like, da, 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 da. I mean, they put that song on first thing when the movie first started, and they had us right there. And ever since then, it's a fun movie. It's fun. And I mean, I don't think it's the best video game movie ever made, but it's one of the most fun video game movies ever made. Matrix 2 and 3 were disappointing. Yes, in some ways. But they had some really badass scenes in them. Like that highway chase in The Matrix Reloaded is one of the best fucking car chase scenes ever made, in my opinion. You can holler bullet and stuff like that all you want. Those are great. But that fucking car chase is amazing. And I mean, before that, there's like probably like 10 minutes of action leading up to that. It's like a 30 to 35 minutes of non-stop hardcore action. Like non-fucking stop. That's such a good part of that movie. If you took that chunk out of the movie probably wouldn't have been as good to me. The ending of it all, I still don't know what I think of that. It's still just kind of, I mean, I don't know how you were going to end it. I don't know how I wanted it to end, but I don't think that was it. I love the first Mortal Kombat movie. It's the campiness. Yes, it is. Skull Queen. Hey, what's up, Skull Queen? And the music. Absolutely. All right, this is the last one. I was doing some research on The Matrix 2, and that freeway scene actually had video game codes on the billboards that worked in the Reloaded video game. I did not know that. Really? I know that scene you could play in the Matrix game. They called it the Matrix. I can't remember what they called it. It wasn't like the name of one of the movies. It was The Matrix something, but you played as like Jada Pinkett Smith and that other guy who was with her, the Asian guy in the white suit. And you play that scene in the game. I remember that. Not a great game, but I did beat it. I was a big Matrix fan too. Anyway, let's move on. I'll come back to the chat in a few minutes. So yeah, this is our new main character, Cole. Hopefully that works out. We'll find out on March 16th, I think it was. I might be saying the wrong day. And here is one of the badasses and the most well-known characters from Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero. Doing some ice crystal stuff here, so we do know that this one is going to have supernatural or magic abilities and things like that. While the first movie did have some supernatural elements to it, it wasn't... It tried to be a bit more grounded, though then... Well, no, that's a lie. It was, but then it had like Reptile and the Outworld and all that. I don't know. You didn't get a ton of that. You had a couple of fireballs here or there, and that whole scorpion thing. Well, no. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That first movie was littered with magic, but the show I know when they were talking about rebooting it, they were talking about like a more realistic, gritty version, and that's how that Rebirth thing was. It had like all the characters being more grounded, and the Legacy, the first season of Mortal Kombat Legacy, the web series I was talking about, it had a more grounded, less supernatural, magic-y kind of aesthetic. There was a little bit, but it was not as much. This one looks like they're going to go all in. We got fireballs up here. Yeah, we got fire hands and like fucking like ice balls or ice sheets. I don't know what he's doing there, but we'll see. But yeah, I like him. I've heard some people talking about his mask. You can't really see his mask, and you see a little corner of it there, but his hat or whatever, it's not a hat, head covering. They're like laughing about that or something. I mean, I think it looks fine. It depends on. Let's see the whole thing. I'll judge after I see the whole thing. I hope Sub-Zero gets a bit more to do in this one than he did in the first movie. The first movie, he showed up, he threw a couple of snowballs, and then he got impaled by a bucket of water by Liu Kang. So, and here's Jax. I've never been a huge fan of Jax's character. I used him a bit, but I wasn't a huge fan of him. He hasn't been very well portrayed in the movies thus far, especially Annihilation, but nobody was portrayed well in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But I will say, I heard somebody talk about, they're saying it looks like Steve Harvey. That's actually true. That does look like Steve Harvey. Once you say that, I can't. Maybe when he's not making that face, he doesn't, but right there, he definitely does. But I do like his arms. They look pretty cool. I guess he's got the MK2 arms. Or was that 3? Yeah, MK2. That's when he, right? I think it was Mortal Kombat 2 when he first got those. Yeah. He's got his Mortal Kombat 2 arms, which he's really, since the character's been in the series, he's had these arms. So it'll be interesting. Are they going to tell us? I'll be interested to see if they're going to tell us why he got these arms. I know why in the canon lore, but in this movie, I don't know. But I mean, they do look good. In still frame, the effect looks good, and I like. It looks like it's going to have like lots of moving little parts and stuff. That'll be cool if it does. I'm pretty sure that's CGI. Something about it just says CGI. Not bad CGI, but it looks like CGI to me. I don't think that that's a prosthetic. I think it'd be, if they had done that as a practical effect, that might be cool. But I get that, you can't have all that stuff. I wonder if he's wearing just green arms or if he's actually got a prosthetic on and they maybe added CGI to make it look better. I don't know. But yeah, Jax looks cool. And here we go with, I'm assuming this is Sonya Blade, and I didn't know who that was at first until we get down one, but I am 99% sure that's Kano. Sonya looks fine. I mean, she's cool. I was never a huge Sonya fan. I mean, I didn't have a problem with her, but she's become a lot more important in the story as the years have gone on. But Bridget Wilson from MK1 is still to this day my Sonya Blade, so we'll see. Originally, by the way, in Mortal Kombat 1, who was originally, do any of you know? I'll ask and then I'll answer it in a minute. Do any of you know who was originally cast as Sonya Blade in the original Mortal Kombat movie, but literally as they were shooting, like a week before actual principal photography started, she hurt herself, and Bridget Wilson, who actually ended up being Sonya Blade, came in and took over for her and had like 1 week to prepare, if that. But yeah, there's a famous actress who was originally cast as Sonya Blade. She was up and coming at that point. She's kind of gone away nowadays, but she's still famous. You guys all know who she is. And here's Kano. I don't know what I think of this. I don't know. He got one side of his face all jacked up. He looks kind of like Gerard Butler. Is Gerard Butler as Kano? I mean, he's got some kind of like scarring and stuff going on. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe he'll get the plate on his face halfway through the movie or at the end or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's Kano. That's who he is. Once again, it reminds me of Gerard. So we got Gerard Butler. We have Steve Harvey. And who are these guys? This looks like the guy. Oh, what's his from the Raid, the main character from the Raid. So we got these 3 guys in the new Mortal Kombat movie, and that kind of looks like Bridget Wilson, but she's much older now. Anyway, yeah, Kano. Kano's a cool character. I don't know what they're doing here though. We'll see. Maybe we're gonna get like an origin to his mask thing. So, but anyway, those are we went on a lot longer with that than I thought. Those are the new pictures for the Mortal Kombat movies. What do you guys think? Are you guys hyped about the new Mortal Kombat movie. It's not here. I was really hoping they'd show the new logo. I'm not a fan of look it up, but I'm not a fan of the new logo for the movie. I mean, it's not terrible, but compared to the old one just looks so badass, but the new one looks like I know it's a dragon, but the new one almost looks like a snake. It's like it doesn't have that fat portion on the bottom of its body. I don't know. I'm nitpicking. I'm the worst kind of person to go see this movie because I'm such a fan of Mortal Kombat. But I'll probably give it a lot more leeway than some people I typically do if it's something I love like that. But if it's shit, I'm going to call it on it. Anyways, what did you guys said over here before we go to the next topic? We got Jared saying, however, they were replaced with actual billboard ads in the home release. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Well, that's probably why. I mean, I saw it in theaters, but I mean, I was so blown away by that scene while I was watching it in theaters, I didn't notice any codes. I did not know. That's a neat little bit of it. That needs to go on like a trivia show or something. Give that to Dan. And maybe he can put that on his trivia show one night or one weekend. Do you have a favorite video game that was made into a movie? Oh, short and sweet. That's a question, especially for me. I mean, there's been lots of games that I really enjoyed that have been made into movies, like the Resident Evil series. The games, huge fan of those. They were made into movies. The movies are very up and down, and depending on who you ask, the quality is questionable. But I mean, I enjoy some of the movies too, but I love those. Mortal Kombat, of course. Mortal Kombat is in my top 3 to 5 games ever. Like series wise, it's definitely up there. It's fighting for number 1. If I ever sat down and like put a list together, it's definitely on up there. I hate to like just pick a favorite, but it's definitely in the top 5, if not the first. It's been with me the longest. I mean, there's tons of other games that have been made into movies that I like the games. Are you asking if there was a video game movie or a video game that was made into a video game movie that I liked the game and the movie? There's been a couple. But yeah, I'd say Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat. I was a Street Fighter fan when it came out, so I mean, at the time it was a favorite. I wouldn't say it's still a favorite now. Tomb Raider, I'm a really big fan of the new Tomb Raider games. And they made a new Tomb Raider movie. Actually, I'm going to be reviewing that in the next week or two. But they made that. I'm ready for Run, Hide, Fight, says Kratos Guy. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a minute, my friend. Yep, that's the one. Says Jared, what's the one? Billboard, do you have favorite? Did I say the one? I was saying something. Something I said, I don't know. That's why I shouldn't wait so long to read the comments. Antonio, my man, thank you very much. I appreciate that more than you know. As usual, you didn't have to do that, but thanks a lot. Hell Knight, do you like Dread? Not the Stallone movie, the other one. You know what, my man? Hell Knight, you are like a fucking mind reader, man. You want to know what's funny about that comment? I don't know if you were in here in the beginning. I said that each week we're going to have a focus, like the bulk of the show will be built around some things, some either really big news thing or probably like a movie or something we would talk about, older, newer, whatever. We're going to just have a focus of the show that would take up most of the time. This week it was supposed to be Dread 2012. I'm a huge fan of Dread, the 2012 Dread movie, and I've been like screaming and yelling from the mountaintops for a sequel to that movie so many times. I can't tell you how many of my videos I mention. I mean, obviously it's not tons of them, but there are quite a few of my videos that somewhere in there I mentioned something about, can we get a fucking sequel to Dread 2012? So yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I was going to talk with my co-host who isn't with us, and because he actually had never seen it, which blew me away. Because if you haven't, anybody who's in here, if you haven't seen 2012's Dread, check that out. It's awesome. Didn't Ermac rip his arms off? Who? Jax? Well, no, not originally. Originally it wasn't Ermac, but I think when they redid it. They redid the lore bit with 2009's Mortal Kombat, the reboot, or they call it Mortal Kombat 9, but they just called it Mortal Kombat. When they went back to being a side, uh, 2D fighter essentially, but made with 3D characters, I think that's when they switched it to have Ermac rip Jax's arms off. But originally, it wasn't him. Hell no. I think the new MK movie is going to be garbage. It might. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment until I see it. I hope it's good because I am such a big MK fan, but you never know. Antonio, I watched a thing that Mortal Kombat's Liu Kang was supposed to be Van Damme, but they somehow didn't take the role. Instead, Johnny Cage ended up being... You're close. You got a little bit backwards. The game, Mortal Kombat, before it was Mortal Kombat, was originally a game based on Jean-Claude Van Damme. It was going to be kind of like a Bloodsport kind of game. It wasn't Bloodsport, but it was modeled around Bloodsport, the movie. And it was going to be a new thing, and they were going to use Van Damme's likeness and all that. And they took it to him, and they said, hey, we want to make this game, this fighting game with you as the main character. It's going to be like this, that, or the other fighting tournament and all that. And he said no, he wouldn't do it. So they instead turned around and used all the assets and everything and made Mortal Kombat, and they turned that character model, well, not the character model, they redid the person, but they made Johnny Cage, they left Johnny Cage in it to kind of poke fun at Van Damme. And if you look at the original Mortal Kombat machine, they've even got Johnny Cage as the one who's on the side of it. There's a big picture of him like doing that with his leg out and everything. Johnny Cage, of all people, he adorns the sides of the original Mortal Kombat machines, and it was kind of a fuck you to Van Damme. Instead, he took Street Fighter movie, which was, yeah, he did. That's true. He did the Street Fighter movie instead. No, he either did the Street Fighter movie instead, or that's one of the reasons he didn't do. I'm getting my stuff mixed up now. Street Fighter movie came into play there. Maybe I'm a mind reader. You'll never know. By the way, Dread is amazing. Yes, it is. Virtua Fighter or Tekken. Which one had Lao? I'm not a huge Tekken fan, so I can't remember. I think Virtua Fighter had a Lao. Maybe a Lu. I don't know. He was the dog. That would be Tekken. Virtua Fighter was all real people. Well, Polygon real people. Great explanation. Thank you. All right, so let's move on to the next piece of news. I'll try not to... I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I couldn't help it. I'm taking a lot of time with Mortal Kombat there. Next thing, this is a bit of a hot topic, and I'm going to talk about this, but not... Let's get to it. We're talking about Run, Hide, Fight. This is a movie I reviewed recently. It just came out. I thought it was a good movie. You can see my review. I thought it was entertaining. Some people have likened it to like a Die Hard with a girl, or Die Hard in a high school. It deals with a very sensitive subject for sure, school shooting. But I think it was respectful, but at the same time it was entertaining. It knows what it is. It's a movie. It's here to entertain, and that's what it did. It put entertainment before anything. One thing it wasn't, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, well, some people's opinion, is it was not political. Yeah, it has some points to make. It says some things about law enforcement and some policies as far as like school policies about how they're supposed to like call the cop whenever they get a report of an active shooter within the school. Instead of before they go on lockdown, they have to call the police and stuff like things like that. It does not ram these things home. It even makes a comment about video games didn't lead to this and all that and that. It says these things, it puts them out there, but it never rams them home. It's never like makes a huge deal about it. It's mostly about the people, because we've all experienced, anybody who's been alive for more than 15 years has experienced the aftermath of this and these situations, unfortunately, and the craziness that goes on there and all that shit. But this is about the actual event itself, what's going on in the school. It's a fictional event, but it's it's not like crazy graphic, but it doesn't pull any punches. So it's horrifying, if you will, or very tense at times. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it had some good characters. It purposely does not delve into the background of some of its characters, and I think that was to try and keep it from being political. But the movie ultimately was released by a company that does have some strong political leanings, that being the Daily Wire. Daily Wire is a really big, I don't know a ton about it. I know Ben Shapiro, which he's really famous, and I think Matt Walsh. They're part of it. That's where they reside, if you will. That's where they work. But it's a conservative network. Okay, right on. Whatever. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Conservative network, liberal network, I don't really care. I don't do politics on my channel. That's why I'm going to talk about this in a certain way. I'm going to talk about a specific thing about this run, hide, fight situation that it does touch on politics, but I'm not going to talk about politics. You'll see. It's a lot of people are saying that they think it's a good movie, like audience-wise. You've got some people that are coming in and they're inserting politics into it, or they're seeing politics. And as I said in my review of the film, if you want to see politics in something, you're going to see politics in something. People that want there to be politics, if they want to see it, you can insert politics into anything, and you could say, yeah, there it is. That's in the movie because of this. And, okay, more power to you. And maybe it is. I didn't feel that. I didn't get that. But let's just say maybe it is. It's never rammed down your throat. It's never like made a big deal about it. So no, I don't think that this movie is political. Does it have people with guns in a school? Yes, it does. Someone said, well, it's a pro-gun movie because the protagonist, the young woman in the film, has to take up arms at one point to defeat the bad guys. Well, no shit. The bad guys have fucking guns. They're the ones that brought the guns in. And that kind of thing happens, unfortunately. That's what the movie is showing. It's not being pro-gun. It's saying these fuckers came into a school with guns. And yes, the main character at one point does pick up a gun. Actually, the vast majority of the movie, she does not have a firearm. But yeah, at one point, she does pick up a gun to defend herself. 2 points. 2 points, I'm sorry. Okay, wouldn't you? And people are like, instead of going to the authorities or trying to have a peaceful resolution, are you kidding me? You're in an active shooter situation where these people are murdering people all around you, and you want me to what? Go like talk to them about their fucking feelings? Fuck that shit. Believe me, I am not like on either side of this whole conversation. But if I'm in a situation like that, school or not, somebody's blowing people away all over the place, and I have an opportunity to get a gun and defend myself, you best believe I'm unloading that motherfucker. But that's me. What I'm talking about here, what I'm wanting to get into is if you go over to Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't put a tremendous amount of stock into Rotten Tomatoes, over the past few years, they've been losing some credibility. There's been some weird things that have happened at Rotten Tomatoes. No, I'm not talking about how sometimes a movie will have like a 80 or 90 critic or audience score, and then like the other one, the vice versa of that will be like a 60 or something like that. Yeah, there's been a lot of those, and it's kind of like, how is this one group not seeing what this other one is? And I get that, that okay, that's fine. But this motherfucker, and it's actually gone up. It's gone up since I originally saw this, just slightly. It had gone up again. It was less than this earlier. It has a 30%, which this was 14% earlier today. 30% against a 92% audience score. 30. Whoops. That didn't work out right, did it? There we go. Let me bring that down so you can see it big. 30% is what the critics are saying. 92. And it looks like we've gotten a couple of other ones that are more fresh now from the critics, I guess. No, that's not it. But somewhere. But the vast majority of them are, if you go start reading them, they're like bashing it, and almost all of it goes right back to politics. I'm like, fucking hell, man. Don't we get enough politics out there in the world? Put the shit down. It's movie. It's movies. It's an escapism form. Just I watch movies so I don't have to deal with all this shit. So I don't have to see and hear all this shit that I hear every day that's out in the world. But no, people are trying to take movies now. They're trying to make them, I mean, they've been doing that, but I mean, now they're even trying to make them political. Why? Stop. Leave the fucking movies alone. It was a good movie. I even saw people in my own comments go look. First of all, real quick, I doubt they're watching, but I've had so many people leave rude, shitty comments. Now, to preface this, the vast majority of the comments I've gotten on this movie have been very positive, but I've had quite a few real shitty, rude, attacking, just asshole comments on this movie. And before I can even comment on them, because I've been checking a lot since the movie came out because I was getting tons of comments on it, before I can even comment on it, they delete them. I had one guy leave me no shit I can show you, because anyone who makes content knows that even if you delete the fucking thing, when it comes to the YouTube studio, I still get the fucking comment. I have it. It doesn't go away. I can see it. I can't respond to it if you delete it, but I can fucking see what you said. 10 fucking times. This wasn't editing. This was 10 wholly different messages on this one fucking video. He'd do it, and then it would disappear. And then he'd leave another one, and it'd disappear. It was almost like he left it because he was mad, and then he cooled down. But as he was deleting it, he got mad again, and he left another one. They were all asshole comments. I was like, dude, I said I liked a movie. That doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. It's an entertaining movie. Get the fuck over it. But yeah, this is fucking crazy. This shows something. And like I said earlier, this was like 12 or 14%. That is ridiculous. And this was 98. So it's starting to pad out a little bit, but it's going to remain this way. And this is pure politics. And I fucking hate that. Get your politics out of my fucking movies. The movie, if it were a political movie, I would get it. No, it's released by a political company, a company that does have political leanings. But they've flat out said this is not a political movie. They're trying to get into the film production business. They did not have anything to do with the making of this movie. This movie was made totally independently, and then they bought it from like a festival or something. They sought it out. It was already made, and they said, hey, we want to release movies in this space now, and we like this one. And they purposely got it because they said it. Well, I mean, I'm sure they are a very conservative network, so I'm sure they said, hey, it's not, a super liberal movie, but not all movies are super liberal, but I mean, it's not like a super liberal movie, so that probably had something to do with it, but it's not an overtly conservative movie either. It's just a fucking movie. I mean, well, okay, it's got guns in it. That doesn't make it a conservative movie, or I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Everybody's turning this poor movie into this big political statement, and it honestly is on both sides a little bit, but it is much more on the other side saying, giving the hate. But it's not. That's not what it is. But once again, if you want to see politics, you'll see them. But this is ridiculous. You guys out there, if you have the chance, yes, it's released. It is produced. That is it. Distributed. I'm sorry. It is distributed. That is it. By the Daily Wire, which is a conservative network. But I had someone leave me a comment saying something along the lines of, well, since it was, they actually said, I actually liked this movie. I thought it was pretty good, but I can't endorse it, and it makes it shit pretty much because of the Daily Wire and their beliefs and all this. And I was like, that's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I didn't say that to him. I was nicer about it. But between me and you guys, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I don't agree with the personal beliefs, political or otherwise, with a lot of people that are in movies. I mean, some of them I don't even fucking know, but I mean, there's people that put all their shit out there on blast, and I don't agree with everything they do, but if they're in a good fucking movie, they're in a good fucking movie. I mean, fuck, get over yourself. But I said to him basically, well, if you're going to label this a bad movie because of the beliefs of the people that distributed it alone, and that's it, then you have to go back and label every single movie that Harvey Weinstein ever produced, and he did have a say-so in the creative process when it came to the movies he was involved with. But that notwithstanding, you have to go back and call every one of those movies trash now, because I don't know of anybody who agrees with that motherfucker did in his beliefs. I mean, is there anybody? If there is, speak up now. But I don't know if anybody agrees with the things that Harvey Weinstein did, and he produced a whole bunch of fucking movies, like good and bad movies. He produced some really good movies. Are we going to go back and say, oh no, his movies are trash now because I don't agree with his beliefs and actions? No, a good movie's a fucking good movie. It doesn't matter who the fuck paid to distribute it. So get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I recommend I don't think right now. I think the only place, unless you get a screener, that you can watch it is through the Daily Wire. I don't know exactly how. You may or may not have to have a subscription. I've heard that it's like only a few dollars or something. I don't know, but this is a good movie. This is a movie worth seeing. It's a tense, sensitive subject, but it's still a really good movie. I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable movie. I had a good time with it. So check it out. You guys check it out. That just drives me crazy. What do you guys got to say about this? Once again, I'm not getting political here. I don't like when movies are shit on for the wrong reason. If it's a shitty movie and it deserves to be shit on, go ahead. And if you didn't like the movie, even if somebody doesn't like, there were people that said that they didn't like the movie and they actually gave me some reasons. Hey, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and I told them, hey, right on, okay, it's not for everybody. No movies for everybody. I get that, but give me a real reason, a reason that makes sense that you didn't like it. Just because I like it does not mean I think that you should like it. It means I liked it. But I don't think that people should hate on it just based on some bullshit that has nothing to do with it. Rant over. Do you, you should do a Dread. Oh, yeah, we did that. We did that. I saw that. Antonio said, yeah, I watched that. It said, yep. I saw that. Virtual, he was a dog. My girlfriend just told my blind friend to watch your live. Oh shit! I'm sorry. If your blind friend is listening, I'm sorry. I'm so fucked, man. I'm sorry. I can't but laugh. I can't not laugh at that. I hate that. I'm not laughing at you, but that's. Okay, I'm moving on. Anyway, Antonio again with the super chat. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. How do you feel about Aeon Flux, the cartoon? I like the cartoon. I watched it a lot when I was a teenager. Now, I haven't seen it in a long time, and when I watched it, I was really stoned a lot of the time. So my memories of it might be a bit skewed. I smoked a lot of weed when I was younger. I was perpetually high. But yeah, I do. I really liked it. I like that short form kind of the short form ironic storytelling that it had. Like she'd go make it. Every one of them, she'd make it through like this crazy, insane, over the top battle just to like trip on a fucking pencil or something in the end and impale her face on a goddamn fence or something. I like that. Everybody watch out. I'm preaching. Yeah. Sorry, I did. I started preaching. My bad. I did start preaching. I'll try not to do it anymore. A good movie is a good movie. I like that. I said that to my dad the other day when he saw Spacey on TV. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Spacey, he did some things. I've heard that maybe some of it didn't happen, or maybe some. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, I do care. You shouldn't. The shit he was accused of isn't cool. You don't do that shit. But it doesn't change the fact that he was in a good movie, and he is. Just because he did something shitty, because he was doing that shit when we were saying he was a good actor, he's still a good actor. I mean, I don't agree with him, and well, if the stuff is all true, I don't agree. I haven't looked into it, but I don't agree with that kind of stuff by any means. But it doesn't change the fact that he was a good actor. I mean, he was in some great films. Usual Suspects is one of my favorite. It's definitely in my top something. I don't know. It's up there. It's a great movie. I mean, he's been in lots of great movies. Preach to us. I agree wholeheartedly. Oh, say don't turn it. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad I figured you guys would. I hope other people that maybe hear this might as well. Kratos guy, why did you get a new girlfriend? Wait, what? My girlfriend just told my blind friend to watch it. A new girlfriend? Why did you get a new girlfriend? Oh, I guess you guys know each other personally or something. He didn't say he had a new girlfriend. Maybe I said new girlfriend. I don't know. This is a podcast. Keep preaching. No. No politics, no religion. That's as far as the politics go. I'm not going to preach. But until the next thing, at least. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's move on to the next thing. But yeah, Run, Hide, Fight. Watch it. Hope you like it. If you do, great. If you don't, just don't like it for the right reasons. That's all I ask. Every movie deserves its chance. So we got two more quick. These are going to be quicker. We got two more news things to go over here that I want to talk about. And the first, I thought this was just kind of funny. I mean, if you think about it, it's not. But so Dungeons and Dragons, which I never got into Dungeons and Dragons like when I was a kid or anything. Not that I was above it. I was too busy doing other stuff. I was definitely a nerd. I was a nerd undercover. I was the bad kid in school. Not bad. I was always in trouble, and I had a reputation to uphold. And I was more interested in being in trouble. But then I was a super nerd too. But I kept it to myself because it is what it is. Except for me and my friends. But Dungeons and Dragons, even though I'm aware of it, I know of a lot of the stuff about it, but I never played the board game or anything like that. I think I may have played some video game adaptations of it at some point. But anywho, Dungeons and Dragons is they're working on a live action TV series. As some of you know, there is a movie that came out in 2001, early 2000s. Not a great movie. Had Marlon Wayans, Jeremy Irons, some other people in it. That's all I remember. Not a great movie. I saw it in theaters. Bad movie, in fact. A bad movie. But they're moving forward with the TV show because that's the new thing now. Have these big high budget TV shows. They are apparently Paramount is working on a new movie with Chris Pine in the lead too. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the TV show. And what I want to talk about on this TV show that I just thought was funny, the person they're getting to develop the TV show, just develop it overall, and also probably have some writing credits, maybe some directorial, but definitely just develop it, be the showrunner for this show. They've tapped the creator of John Wick, of the John Wick universe. This guy named, I forgot his name. I had it. What did I do with it? I think I made a note of it. Well, shit. Derek Kolstad. He is who they're tapping. One of the people. I'm not gonna say anything signed yet, but he's one of the people they're looking to create a Dungeons and Dragons TV show. Didn't give us. It's still in the pre-production phase, of course. But yeah, I mean, I think Dungeons and Dragons, especially with things like Game of Thrones, and we got a Lord of the Rings series coming, which is I'm not sure how I feel about that, but things like that, more fantasy TV shows coming about here recently. I think a Dungeons and Dragons TV show could work. It could. I mean, there's a whole lot of backstory there with Dungeons and Dragons. It's been around forever. But it could work. It's all right there for the taking. But the guy who made John Wick, he's he's been involved in all the John Wick movies. I mean, just because he made John Wick doesn't mean he can't make other things. But that's just not the first person I think of when I'm like, hey guys, so we're gonna do this Dungeons and Dragons thing. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Who do you think we should get to do it? I don't know. I mean, maybe should we look at maybe Peter Jackson or he's kind of big. How about the people that were involved with Game of Thrones? No. I was thinking more like John Wick. John Wick? Yeah, John Wick. Why not? Seems I get real deep fantasy feelings when I watch John Wick. What the fuck? I mean, I don't know. That's just. I mean, maybe they knew him from something else. I don't know anything else that the guy's done. He's a behind the scenes kind of guy, so he's not the one that you always hear of, the big names. And maybe he came in with a great pitch or maybe something else. And I mean, the John Wick movies are great. And I mean, it's one of those situations what's the guy who made the Joker last year, or the year before last now? He came from the Hangover movies. So I mean, that's when they were saying the writer-director of The Hangover is doing a Joker movie, like a gritty Joker movie. I was like, what the fuck? So I mean, yes, people can break out, and they should. I mean, lots of people have done different genres, but just I don't know. It's something about going from John Wick being such a integral part to John Wick, and now going to Dungeons and Dragons. Just that kind of caught me off guard. I don't know. And we got any Dungeons and Dragons fans in the chat, by the way? Let's see. Yep, Cyberpunk 2077 is so disappointing. I was going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077, but it got bumped off the sheet because I think it's been talked about to death. Hell Knight said I hate Dungeons and Dragons. I don't hate nor do I love it. I don't know much about it. It is what it is. I mean, I'll give it its respect. It's been around forever, but I just don't know enough about it to really. I know some stuff about it, but I never played it, so I can't say I hate it. I don't really have much of an interest beyond, hey, that's cool, it's fantasy stuff. I went and saw the movie in the movie theater, so I guess I had that much interest, and the movie fucking sucked. So I can say that yes, I guess I hated that. Kratos Guy said, I like Dungeons and Dragons because I get the fuck everything. You get the fuck everything. You get to fuck everything? Oh, I get to fuck everything. Yeah. You get to fuck in Dungeons and Dragons? I might need to check out Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't know there was fucking in Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that one real quick. I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, when you think about it, it's not, but just the tagline of John Wick creator tapped for Dungeons and Dragons live action TV series stood out to me. Anyway, one more thing we're going to talk about on the news, then we're going to move on to a couple little things before we get out of here. I'm coming up on, how the hell long have I been doing this? Where's the time? Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. We're going a bit longer than I planned. I said I was going to keep these short. You guys heard of Zack Snyder before? Anybody? You guys know that name? By chance? How about Justice League? So Justice League, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, previously known as the Snyder Cut. They don't call it that anymore. They call it Zack Snyder's Justice League. But got a little bit. We're getting more and more news of that as it comes about. We all knew it was going to be longer than the original 2-hour version of Justice League that Joss Whedon made. But now and there was an original rough cut of it apparently. I can't remember how long it was, but it was pretty epically long too. But now he's released an actual, I guess it's not an exact amount of time it is, but it is going to be more than 4 hours long. And people were, and everybody was kind of thinking that it was going to be in that 3.5 to 4 hour long thing. And there was this rumor going around that they were going to, split it up into a miniseries on HBO Max. And that kind of made sense that they were going to make it like a four 1 hours short, or not shorts, but pieces as a whole. But apparently no. Zack Snyder said, fuck that shit. Fuck all that noise. This is going to be one single movie. No splitting up my baby. It's already been cut on enough. So yeah, Justice League, the Snyder Cut, which is the very highly likely rumor is it's coming out in March now. There's a lot of shit coming out in March. But it's apparently everybody's saying that there was like a really credible rumor that it was coming out in March. I think they gave it an exact date, but I don't know about the date, but everybody's saying it's looking like March for the Snyder Cut, or the Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm excited about this. I'm gonna catch shit for this, but I didn't hate Justice League, the 2017 version. I didn't love it either, but I didn't hate it. A lot of people fucking hated it. I saw its flaws. I thought it needed. I could tell that a lot of stuff it seemed like was cut out of it, and it was very rushed, and it didn't fit in. It didn't fit into the DCEU at the time. It didn't fit the other movies. Like if you watch all the DCEU movies, Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, Aquaman maybe, it did not fit in tonally. It was very inconsistent because it was that, and that's what they were going for. They were trying to make it a fucking Marvel movie, and that's not what DC was. But that's what they tried to make, and it came off to be a disaster. But I didn't hate it. I thought it had some cool parts. Had some CGI that was kind of like, that was, creative choice I wouldn't have gone with, but I thought it was okay. A lot of that having to do with the fact that I really like or love a lot of these characters, so that probably helped it. I actually plan on watching the theatrical version again here in the next few weeks and doing a review on it because I'm reviewing all the DCU movies leading up to this release. So when I watch it again, it's been a while since I saw it. I might change. I just bought it on 4K the other day. That might change my mind. I might be like, "Fuck this! What is this trash?" But I'm looking forward to this. I like Zack Snyder. I think he is very overindulgent at times, but so is Quentin Tarantino, and people love him. He knows what movie he wants to tell, and he tells it no matter how long it takes. So I'm cool with 4 hours, especially this. I will not go to theaters to see. I don't know if it's going to be available in theaters, being 4 fucking hours long, but this will be one I watch at home. And 4 hours at home, I could actually watch a 4-hour movie if it's good. But hell, I could break it up if I have to. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Looks like we're going to get a lot of cool stuff. I'm not going to go through all the crap that we're probably going to get because if you're interested in the Justice League Snyder Cut, you've heard of it all. The Superman's black suit and more cyborg stuff. And let's not even get started on all the stuff going on with Ray Fisher's cyborg in the news right now and all that. And Aquaman, too, he's getting some shit with the whole Amber Heard thing. But, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff surrounding this movie, and it's been talked about ad nauseum to death. I'm ready to see it. I'm just ready to get the fucking thing out so I can see it, so we can all just finally know. Uh-oh. Hang on. Looks like things are getting funky here. Just a sec. Yeah, this part will be cut out when I edit this. Saying I'm losing. What's going on? Oh no! Just a second, guys. Sorry, just the stream health just tanked for some reason. I am online. Looks like it's picking back up now. Okay. Well. It seems to be working. Okay. It seems to be. I think it's coming back. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Justice League Snyder's Cut. We've all heard so much about it. I just want to fucking see it so we can decide whether, is this movie, is it going to be the be all end all? Is it going to be so much better than the original one or the Joss Whedon one? And if I just want to know. I want to figure it out. I want that discussion to be put to rest finally. So yeah. You guys looking forward to, what do you guys think about the Snyder Cut or Justice League overall? Any of you guys looking forward to it? What do we got going on over here? Zack Snyder's best movie is easily 300, says Hell Knight. I like 300. I thought 300 was really good. Yeah, but his best movie? I could see that. He's made some other good movies. I actually just watched Man of Steel today. Again. I've seen it before, but I watched it again. That movie, when I first saw it, I wasn't in love with it. I thought it was okay, but it had a lot of issues, and I was like, it's just got some issues, some things I don't love about it. But then every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more each time. I appreciate more about it every single time I watch it. It's one of those weird movies like that. But 300 is a really good movie. That is probably his best. I really like Watchmen, but I was a huge fan of the Watchmen comics, and yes, graphic novel. And yeah, I know they made some changes there, especially to like the end, but I thought the spirit was still the same, so I was okay with those changes. I get why they made the changes. Yeah, 300. Dawn of the Dead, I liked. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 300. I think maybe off the top of my head, 300 probably definitely one of, if not his best, his first or second best. I'd say it's probably his best. I can get on board with that. Hell Knight. Antonio, again, my friend, thank you very much. You were just killing. You're gonna pay my bills today. Thank you very much. $5. Oh, hell yeah, man. 1 minute of opinion for each film if you've seen. Okay. 1995's Hackers, Basic Instinct, Body Double, Eyes Wide Shut, 1982 Summer Lovers. Okay, I've seen most of these. One of them I cannot remember. I have not seen. I don't. If I've seen it, I don't recall. 1982 Summer Lovers. And if it was something I saw when I was younger, when I was a kid in the 80s, I just don't remember it by that name. I've seen Eyes Wide Shut. Body Double I've seen, but I cannot remember. I could not tell you what that's about. I do not remember. That's weird. Basic Instinct I've seen. Hackers I saw. Okay, so let's start from the top. You said 1 minute? Okay, cool. 1995's Hackers. Hackers, been a long time since I've seen it. When I was a kid, we all thought it was really cool. However, we were all, my little crowd, my group, we were a bit more tech savvy and computer literate than a lot of other people. If you watch that movie, you can't take it seriously, for one, because a lot of the shit that they say makes no fucking sense. It's just ridiculous. They're spouting things off that don't, some of it makes sense, but it's super basic, but they're making it sound like it's not. But some of the stuff just is nonsensical. It makes no sense. The things that they're saying do not make sense. It's clearly just hyperbole. And but I mean, the movie itself is like super cheesy 90s fun. It's supposed to, I think, be the future or so. At some point, I cannot remember when that movie takes place, but I think it's supposed to be a little bit further in the future. But it's one of the most 90s movies ever. I like it, but I don't think it's a good movie, but I enjoy it. I would watch it if it was on TV. I'm probably not going to set out to watch Hackers, but if it's on TV, which I mean, I don't like, TV to me now is Netflix. If I was like going through Netflix just looking for something to watch, I would definitely put it on. And it's one of those movies that, like, while I'm editing, like where I edit it now, my TV is straight ahead on the other side of the room. If I saw it on there, that is a movie I would definitely click on while I was editing or something, and periodically just stop and watch it for a few minutes at a time. Hackers is a good time. Basic Instinct. I saw Basic Instinct in theaters with my parents. Yeah. I haven't seen Basic Instinct in a long time. When I was a kid, which is when it came out, it was more or less the movie that supposedly showed Sharon Stone's vag. That's all we knew it as. It's just, hey, there's that one part of the interrogation scene. That's what everybody wanted to see. And it really wasn't. I remember seeing that scene and I was like, what? Nothing happened. Or it wasn't that impressive. But from what I do remember, I just spit. I do remember watching that movie years later. I said, I like going back to movies I saw as a kid and rewatching them and seeing if my opinion changed on them. And I remember thinking, it's been quite a while since I did that too. It's been a solid 20 years probably since I've watched that movie again. But I remember thinking it wasn't bad. It was entertaining. It was good. It was kind of schlocky to a degree, somewhat. It was your average, like, mid to late 90s erotic thriller. It was the erotic thriller, actually, for a long time. That and not Basic Instinct, that and Fatal Attraction. It was that. I remember she, like, when I think of Basic Instinct now, I remember she was, like, or somebody was banging some guy, and right as he got off, she started stabbing the shit out of him with an ice pick. And I was like, man. People are like, well, at least he went out with a smile on his face. No, he did not. No, he didn't. That's terrible. He was in the middle of it. He didn't even get to finish, and it got ruined. That's the absolute worst fucking way to go out. Body Double, I cannot remember. I know I've seen that movie, but I can't remember. I know it's one of those mid-90s erotic thrillers. These are all movies that you've reviewed, I bet, Antonio. I know some of them you have. Eyes Wide Shut is I saw that in theaters. I didn't think Eyes Wide Shut was that great of a movie. When I first saw it, I didn't like it. I watched it years later, and I appreciated it more. I still didn't think it was great, and I thought it was overly long, and I thought it was a bit self-indulgent and pretentious at times even. And the story that it's based on came out like in the 30s, so the sensibilities of that story, while I do agree with, they don't hold as true in the time period that the movie was made about infidelity within one's mind. I think that they do, but as far as a movie goes, making a movie about it, they do not. So I think it was harder to convey that message over to people. And the movie's kind of hot, I ain't gonna lie. I don't get like turned on and stuff by movies very often, but that movie's got so much nudity and fucking in it. It's kind of hard not to at least think about it while you're watching that shit. But there was a quote, I cannot remember who said it, but I have always latched onto this about that movie. And that's really all Stanley Kubrick's movies, which I like most of his movies. But this one was one I don't love it, but I think it's better now, like I said. But even then, I said, even though I didn't like the movie, I couldn't stop watching it. And somebody, I think it was Steven Spielberg, because he was such good friends with Stanley Kubrick. He said, Stanley Kubrick, even if you don't like his movies, he is such a good filmmaker that even if you don't like the Stanley Kubrick movie you're watching, you can't stop watching it. You have to watch it to the end. It's just something about his filmmaking style and his movies. You just have to watch it all the way to the end. And I'll give him that. I did. And I watched that movie all the way to the end, and then I said I didn't like it. But I didn't like the movie, but I couldn't stop watching it. So I don't know what that says, but that's how I felt about Eyes Wide Shut. And the 1982 Summer Lovers, I haven't. If I've seen it, I don't remember it, like I said, by that name. But, yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Antonio. I really appreciate that. Kratos Guy, have you done Friday the 13th review? I have not. I thought about doing it this past Halloween, and Halloween got away from me. I will be much more prepared next Halloween season. And I can almost guarantee you that Friday the 13th will end up on there. Man of Steel is kind of for me, but it's okay, I guess, at Hell Night. That's what I always thought. When I first saw it, I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. I thought the end was just like a jumbled mess. But like I said, man, every time I watch it, it gets a little bit better every time. Thanks. Hey, you're welcome, Antonio. Thank you. The movie Swordfish is underrated, says Hell Night. That's one, I'll need to rewatch that to comment. When I first saw Swordfish, I didn't love it. I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was just kind of, but it was really hyped up when I saw it, too. It was really hyped up. So maybe now going in, I would appreciate it more. Swordfish, yes. That's all I remember in Swordfish. Skip Body Double. Well, yeah, okay. I'm coming with more. All right. The guy knows what he's talking about. My Ghost Rider. All right. Right on, Antonio. Okay, so, Justice League, that's it. So we're going to move on. We're just about done here, or I'm just about done here. And then maybe we'll do a little chatty chat if you guys want to, but not staying up all night. However, I'm going to have a section I planned on. Like I said, I'm just kind of doing things in this podcast. It's the first one, and throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks. One of the things I was going to do is maybe pick a trailer or two or whatever from the week that I saw that I thought was cool, and like a new trailer or just whatever, and put it on here and play it and see if you guys just any of you that didn't get to see it, and then we could talk about it. So this week, now I don't know how this will work as far as copyright stuff goes. It's a trailer though. I don't think that should be a problem. I don't know. We'll find out if I get booted off of here. It'll let me back on, though. So if I'm watching this, by the way, just real quick, I'll cut this out. If I'm watching if I turn this on and the stream goes down, just hang on just a minute, because I'll see that it went down, and I'll stop the trailer, and then it'll allow the stream to come right back. You won't have to do anything; it'll just come back. So because it did that with a song I was playing one time. Anyway, let's go. Most likely it won't go away. They'll just demonetize the video. So the first one that I want to look at here is a little movie that some of you have probably already seen the trailer to. I was going to just play it real quick. I thought this was cool, and we'll talk about it afterwards. And it is Willy's Wonderland. So let's check this out. Anybody who likes crazy Nicolas Cage is going to like this one. And Five Nights at Freddy's.
Welcome to Willy's Wonderland. Spend the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal? You are officially on staff. Let's get the hell out of here.
You can already tell just by how Nicolas Cage is looking in this movie and his reactions that this is going to be one of those crazy, insane, Mandy-esque performances.
You're here to be a human sacrifice. Have you been listening to a word I've been saying?
He said, fuck you, I'm just trying to make money and get my car fixed. Yeah, fuck that. That shit's fucking creepy, man. What the fuck? Is that like a fucking ostrich or something?
Nobody is safe. Put your balls on, Evan. We're going to Willy's.
We're going to Willy's.
He's not trapped in here with them. We're trapped in here with him.
Oh, come on. They stole Rorschach's line from Watchmen.
I enjoy a man of few words.
So it's safe to say that I will be reviewing that movie. I put a call out to... I have a distributor I work with. But yeah, I have a distributor I work with that gets me movies, screeners and stuff. And unfortunately, I put an email out to him immediately, and I was like, is this one of the distributor? Well, they're a marketing company, actually. Is this one of the distributors that you guys work with? Can I get this? And they were like, no, we don't work with the distributor, that one. So I'm going to still see if I can get a screener, but February 12th is right around the corner. So I'm definitely going to check it out on February 12th, if not before. And I will be talking about that. That movie looks like it is either going to be just fucking insanely awesome or real bad. I don't think there's going to be an in-between, because it reminds me of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is kind of like just ripe for the picking. Plus, they got Nicolas Cage in there going nuts, beating the shit out of some goddamn crazy puppets that bleed, apparently. But if any of you saw the Banana Splits movie, that's kind of what it was. If not, I've got a review of it up on my channel I did last year. It was kind of like that, like a psychotic animatronics come to life, Five Nights at Freddy's-esque kind of movie. And yeah, opinions on that movie are really divided, because some people are like, it was aight, and some people are like, it's fucking terrible. I thought it was aight. I thought it had a lot of potential, but I thought they squandered a lot of that potential too. This one looks like it could be really cool. And I hope it's not... I see that they're going like a bit of a horror theme, but the trailer makes it seem like they're going to have kind of like a over-the-top kind of goofy feel to it too. I hope that the movie has that. I hope the movie takes the exact tone that this trailer had, where it's going to have some creepiness and some horror, but it's going to have just like this over-the-top crazy Mandy Crazy Cage kind of thing going on for it. If it does that, this movie will be fucking awesome. What do you guys... Have any of you guys seen this trailer? If so, what did you think of it? I mean, I guess if you're here, you just saw it, but prior to this... Hell Knight said Man of Steel is kind of for me, but it's okay, I guess. Oh wait, I already read that. I read all that. Oh, the way you view Man of Steel is how I view Spider-Man 3. It gets better every time I watch it. You know, I didn't. I went a little bit of reverse and then back with Spider-Man 3. The first time I watched it, I was like, "Hey, that wasn't that bad," and people were like really trashing it. And I was like, "The movie wasn't that bad. It was okay. It's pretty good. It wasn't as good as Part 2, which is one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made. Spider-Man movies ever made, but it was okay." And then I watched it a second time, and I was like, I mean, yeah, I see some issues there. And then I went a long time without seeing it, and then I saw it again, and I was like, it wasn't that bad. So I kind of flip-flop on that movie a bit. I've never said it was outright just garbage, but it's got some real cringy moments. Like that whole emo dance scene with Tobey Maguire, that was... it was bad, but it was Sam Raimi. And I love when Sam Raimi gets real corny and goofy like that in the movies. And that's the kind of weird out there shit that Sam Raimi does. I spit on my mic. Why is it one of the worst movie? Wait, what? Kratos Guy 777 said, "Why is it one of the worst movies on your channel is also one of the most viewed ones?" Why is it? Oh, why is it one of the? Which one? Which movie are you talking about? YouTube won't let me super chat you anymore. Why not? I mean, you don't have to. I'll answer your questions anyway. I appreciate it. I appreciate you trying, but why won't it let anybody super chat me? Which one are you talking about, Kratos Guy? Which movie is my highest viewed video I have is not a good movie. It's the Fuck It List. But you said one of my highest rated. I wonder which one you're talking about. Or one of my highest viewed, rather. And the reason is, I think, whatever it is probably because actually not every time, but a lot of the times, the bad movies get views because people like... When people see a bad movie, I see that they go online because they want to see if other people didn't like it. And when other people agree with what they said and they start shit talking it, people really like that. They like to see people talk shit about things they don't like. Which is, I catch shit for that sometimes also because I'm a little bit easier going on some movies sometimes. I won't like just rip at a new asshole because there was like one thing I didn't like about it. I try and see the good in every movie. There's not good to be seen in some movies, but I try. And some people don't appreciate that. The Fuck It List. Yeah, that's my number one viewed video because I don't know about now, but I know for a long time I was the only person besides some like off-the-wall Indian. There was an Indian review of it where it came from India and like it used like the Microsoft computer voice to do it. It was like a minute long. But my review was the only review of that movie for a long time. That was another one, though, that I got a lot of shitty comments on. It was on my worst of 2020. But yeah, you guys hadn't said anything about it. Hope you like that trailer. I'm looking forward to that movie. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it could be awesome. If Nicolas Cage wasn't in it, if he wasn't slated to be in this movie, I don't know if I would have been as excited about it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Let's see what's next. That's the only trailer we're gonna do this week. But I got this other trailer right here. I want to look at. HBO Max put out like a stinger trailer, and I really only want to look at one thing here. It has like just kind of like some quick shots of all their movies. Mortal Kombat's actually in here. It's the first video I think that we've seen of Mortal Kombat. It's like literally 1 second. That's not what I'm looking at. We've already talked enough about Mortal Kombat, but there is a movie in here. All their big movies, I think it shows at least a clip of, with the exception of The Matrix. It mentions The Matrix, but it doesn't show anything from it. But Kong versus Godzilla, I think this is the first official, I don't even know if we've seen actual pictures, really, like pictures from the film. We've seen concept art. This is the first shots from the film we've ever seen, and it shows, I think, 2 of them here. Right here in the beginning that you're about to see, and also a little bit closer to the end. This is only like a minute long like sizzle reel. But I thought this was pretty cool. There's some stuff to talk about here. I mainly want to talk about Kong versus Godzilla, and then we're going to move into the last parts and get out of here. That's Godzilla, and look, King Kong punched the shit out of him. Oh, you know what? I just saw that. Let's go back. I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about Mortal Kombat, but it just dawned on me. Earlier when it showed that picture of Sub-Zero, I was like, I don't know what he's doing here, making like a snowball or something. I think he's making a fucking ice sword. Look at this clip when it shows him. It's really quick, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. He's making an ice sword. It looks like it. See, that's a fucking ice sword. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Kong is... I'm sorry, I gotta rewind it again. I thought King Kong did not... In the movies so far, Godzilla looked like a lot bigger than King Kong was going to be. I know they made this version of King Kong they have now is larger than the Kongs we've gotten in the past, but like the Godzilla looks like he's like walking around skyscrapers and shit and as big as they are. And Kong didn't look like he was quite that big. I thought there was going to be like a big, like Godzilla was going to be a lot bigger than him, but maybe Kong was going to be more agile. But look, this shot right here, he looks like he's like right on par with as big as Godzilla. Yeah. Ooh, there's Space Jam. That's the first I've seen of that. And there's a... Oh, Suicide Squad. I forgot about that. I guess that's coming to HBO Max too. And Dune. Oh, there... It showed the Mortal Kombat. So yeah, I know that was just a little something that was really quick. Oh, I had it on that view. You guys couldn't really see it. What? Anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to look at that real quick. What the fuck? Look at this picture. Oh, it changed. Why does it change every time I switch camera angles? That one, though. Hang on, let me move myself so you guys can see this really creepy looking fucking image. I think that's from Willy's Wonderland. Yeah, where's look at that shit. That's fucking terrifying. Yeah, that is. That's from Willy's Wonderland. I don't know why that's in there. Anyway. Uh-oh. YouTube's being stupid again. Come on, YouTube. Don't do this to me right here at the end. If you guys can hear me, hang on just a second. Error. Ain't this about a bitch? I don't know what's up with the internet tonight. If you guys can hear me. It's being real fucking stupid, though. I was having internet issues earlier today. I have no idea if you guys can even hear any of this. Come on. You can do it. You know, I love live streaming. It's really fun. I don't like this part of it. Oh, I think we're back. Okay, we're back. Are we back? Yeah, we're back. All right, cool. Oh, I've got hit with it. We're on a hell of a lag now, though, but it's all good. As long as it's smooth, I don't care. Anyway, okay, so yeah, that was that HBO Max stuff there, which I thought was pretty cool. Just that Godzilla thing. I'm looking forward to... Somebody mentioned Godzilla versus King Kong earlier. That's another one I'm looking forward to. I really liked the first Godzilla. It wasn't what any of us expected, but it was definitely better than the Godzillas we had gotten in the past, especially like the American Godzilla from 98. But the second one, King of the Monsters, I was so hyped about that movie. It looks so awesome. And I was kind of underwhelmed by it. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I didn't love it. It was okay, but it was just, my hype level was so much higher than what that movie actually ended up being. That's unfortunate. So I've gone a lot longer than I planned on going here, so sorry about that. I hope to have more, now that I've done this once, I hope to have a bit more structure to the rest of the week, and maybe I'll be able to, I need to limit the amount of time I talk about some things. But yeah, I'm going to look over here at the chat here real quick. Now, while I'm doing that, I have, one little thing I'm going to talk about here about my channel in a minute, and then I'm going to open it up, and if you guys got any questions or anything, we can do that. But beyond that, we're going to be about done. So I'm going to look at the chat, and I'm going to go over this some stuff coming up on my channel. If you guys got any questions, throw them down there in the chat. Let's see. Antonio did. Oh, hey, look. Hey, there you go. Thank you very much again, Antonio. Damn, dude. You, like I said, you paying my bills. You are my sugar daddy. My YouTube sugar daddy. We got Dead Ringers, Teeth, Cruel Intentions, Sex, Lies, and Videotape, and Color of Night. Oh, you're going to be disappointed in me. I have seen all of these movies. Dead Ringers, oh, I'm trying to remember. Isn't that the one with the twins? And it's, who is it? Who's the guy? Is on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I can't remember. It's about the twins, right? I cannot remember enough about that movie to give you an honest, review or my thoughts on it. I remember liking it, I think, but it's been so long since I've seen that. I have seen it. That's actually, I want to check that one out. I remember liking that movie a lot. Teeth, I have seen. I have seen Teeth, and if we're talking about the Teeth that came out around like circa 2012, 2013, about the girl with the teeth in, yeah, I like that movie. That movie was really good. I thought that was a great movie. They took such an out there, yes, Jeremy Irons. Yeah, I was just talking about him in the Dungeons and Dragons movie. But yeah, they took such an out there crazy performance as a woman with vicious teeth that attack at will in her vagina and turned it into just such a good movie. I mean, if I told someone, hey, that's the plot of this movie, people would think, what are you talking about? But they actually made this really good movie with some really poignant scenes. It had a just biting, dark sense of humor, no pun intended, but it had such a good sense of humor, but at the same time, it was not nearly as corny or goofy as you would think it would be. I loved it. I do really remember liking Teeth. What was the other one? Cruel Intentions. Well, Cruel Intentions is just a remake of the... Fuck, what is it? Man, I went blank. But yeah, it's a remake of a period piece. Keanu Reeves is in it, I think, in the movie version. Anyway, Cruel Intentions was pretty good. It's been a long time since I've seen that one too. Cruel Intentions, the first one, was one of those movies that was better than I thought it would be, because I knew when it came out that it was a remake of I cannot remember the original. Anyway, whatever it was a remake of was like an old story, and I thought, oh, this is just going to be some type of Gen X at that time. Gen X, like, hip update to it or something like that. I was a teenager, I think, when it came out. And it blew up, and, like, I remember a lot of the kids, or at that point, young adults, I think I was an older teen, when it came out, they were like, oh, Cruel Intentions is so cool. It's so awesome. I don't remember what year Cruel Intentions came out. It had to be like 95, maybe 93. Oh man, I may have been younger than I was thinking. 95. I was 15 and 16 in 95. I think it came out in 95, maybe 96. Anyway, I was around that age, and all the kids were like, "Oh yeah, that's so cool, man! Fucking Cruel Intentions is so amazing." And whenever those kind of movies came out, people were just like going, like the dumbass teenagers at my school were going on and on about them. I purposely just like disliked them. Because it got on my nerves how much people would like go on and try and make themselves sound like real intelligent, and they just sounded really fucking stupid. I didn't like them. But when I did finally watch Cruel Intentions, I do remember thinking, I don't want to admit it, but that movie wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. I thought it was. It was well done. It was a good movie. I don't know how it holds up today. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I do remember thinking it was good. Sex, Lies, and Videotape. Seen it. And Color of Night 2. I've seen both of these, but it was probably around the same time. And I do not remember enough about them to give... It's been so long, and I was younger when I saw them. I remember both of them being good, but I also feel like they were both movies I would appreciate more as an adult. Especially Color of Night. These are movies that I probably... Actually, Dead Ringers, Sex, Lies, and Videotape, and Color of Night are all movies I think I should probably go back and watch at some point. Because I think these will all be movies I'll appreciate much more as an adult. I remember Dead Ringers more, and I do remember really liking that. Color of Night I remember really liking, but I cannot comment on. I don't remember enough about it to comment on it. But I remember I did like them. I know you're wanting more than that. I'm sorry. Especially since you gave me the super chat. I can't give you more than that. I'll watch them sometime. I can't say I'll watch them tomorrow, but I will try and watch those sometime and give you an actual honest opinion. My honest opinion. Hell Knight said, I can hear you. I guess that was when I was going on about, the stream went to shit again earlier. I don't know why. Live. Please review the Friday the 13th series. That's a lot of movies. I will. Yes. I can't say exactly when, but I will. I will say that I don't want to say complete it. You know what? Just for you, and this is like not soon, but I will review that entire series by Halloween of this year. I know that's a few months out, but I've also got stuff scheduled a few months out to watch. But that I will, because there's so many of those movies that will give me a lot of filler content I could use, especially at Halloween. So I promise you, I will review because I'm a completionist. So when I review a series, I do every one of them. So I promise you, I will do every single Friday the 13th movie made by Halloween this year. Why would I be disappointed? Well, because I'm disappointed. You gave me a super chat, and I was able to give you really just one of them. I gave you much detail. Cruel Intentions, I guess. But the other three, I was like, I don't remember. I'm getting old. My memory's going away. Jeremy Irons. Gynecologist. Yeah, they were gynecologists. I remember that. I need to watch that one again, too. And they fell for the same woman. And there's something weird about the end of it. I cannot remember what it was. Oh, I remember Friday the 13th series. I remember I really liked it. Short and sweet. Yeah. Friday the 13th. The first one is really good. I have thoughts on all of them. Friday the 13th is that weird kind of series that started out really good and original and neat. And then it went through this, it kind of, I won't say went down, but it kind of hit like this schlocky period where they were entertaining, and there's a lot of 80s slasher movies back then. It was entertaining, but still just kind of schlocky, just good enough time. I wouldn't call them great. None of them measure up to the first one. And then they had this period of time where they got bad, like bad. But then they switched it. They did a Chucky, and they went from being bad to self-aware. And I think when the Friday the 13th series got self-aware, it started getting good again. It was over the top. It was ridiculous, and they were corny and hokey, but it was okay because they knew it, and they were playing it that way. Like that was Jason X, when Jason in Space. That movie is so ridiculous, but it's a fun time. Where was I? Thanks for this. I appreciate it. Hey, no problem, Antonio. Anytime. I know what you're talking about. Dangerous Liaisons. Yes, that is the one. That's what Cruel Intentions is based on. Ryan from What Were You Watching is here turning in. I like the set. Oh, yeah, we're not going to get into that. This was a last-minute addition. It was not supposed to be anything like this, and I was also not supposed to be alone. I had a co-host, and it just didn't work out. But I didn't find out that it wasn't going to work out, even though I've been working on this for a while, until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. So I put all this together in my little, all my angles that I haven't used much. I put all this together since at about 5 o'clock this afternoon. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. Even though it looks like the table is like, it looks like the table that I'm sitting at is like way up here, like up to my chest. I'll have it. This will not, whether I will have it done by next week or not, I don't know. I will be tweaking this entire thing, the look, the content, everything. This will be a under construction. This podcast will be for a while. Have you seen Ghost Ship? I have, and I thought Ghost Ship was okay. It had an awesome beginning. That opening scene in Ghost Ship was awesome. You're good. Don't need more. Oh, okay. Well, anytime, Antonio. Anytime. Ghost Ship was good, dude. Thank you. I've been waiting. I'm waiting for a YouTuber to do that for me because I love the Friday the 13th series. I'm sure there's people out there that have done them all, but I will do the entire series because I am. If I start a series and I don't finish it, it irks me. Like Star Wars, I did one, so I was like, got to do them all. Video game movies. I started that 2 years ago, and I will be done with it in about a month. I'm nothing if not determined. Short Sweet Ghost Ship was underrated. I know. Jason 6 was peak greatness. Which one was Jason 6, Ryan? Was that wasn't Manhattan, was it? Oh, I saw Jason Goes to Manhattan in movie theaters. I'm trying to remember which one. Was it Jason Lives or Jason the End or Beginning? Or I don't remember. Scream tried to make all of these horror movies too meta. I liked Scream. I liked the first Scream. I thought the second Scream was okay. I liked the third Scream when I saw it, and then I saw it again years later, and I thought the third Scream was the most dated of all of them. I never really watched the fourth one, and I know they got a fifth one coming out. But I like the first Scream. But yeah, you're right. First Scream, it was like a turning point for horror movies now, and they went from being like slashers to this whole meta, just this whole meta thing. That's what they became. Now that's over with, mostly. Very aware of themselves. Yes, they were. Just watched... Bleh. Nocturnal Critic is here. What's up, Nocturnal Critic? Just watched your review of Run, Hide, Fight. Great job on that. Plan to review that next as well. Good. You watched my review? Have you seen it yet? Did you watch it? And if you did watch it, I think you're saying you watched it and you liked it. If you did watch Run, Hide, Fight, what did you think of it? Did you like it? I know you said you're doing a review, but just curious if you liked it or not. Antonio, I saw the movie Teeth. Being a woman, you know I loved it. Yes. It's based on a myth. That doesn't surprise me. Jason Lives, I think. Yeah, Jason Lives is the one. Was Jason Lives the one where, like, his brother or that one guy, it had one of them, there was like 2 or 3 of the movies that had like a lot of the same characters. They tried to have like a continuous story arc. The New Beginning was part 5, which was whack. Was that the one with Corey Feldman? I don't remember. I get also mixed up. This is coming from a true Friday the 13th fan. Jason Takes Manhattan sucks. Yes, it did. I'd like to watch it again, though. I have not seen that in so long. I watched that in a movie theater in Washington, D.C., whatever the hell year it came out. And it just, the whole theater thought that movie sucked. I remember he punched somebody's head off and it looked like a mannequin's head. Like, the movie's called Jason Takes Manhattan. I think he's in Manhattan for like 10 minutes. Most of it's like on a fucking boat or something like that. I can't remember. Manhattan was one of my faves. I'm wondering if it was a movie that when I was a kid, it just wasn't what I was expecting, but now I would appreciate it differently, look at it differently, maybe. Because like I'll do that sometimes. I'll go back and watch movies that I've always thought were terrible, and I'll view them differently now, and they're still terrible, but that doesn't mean they're not fun. House of the Dead, that's one. Hated that fucking movie. It came out, refused to watch it again. Did this video game movie review series, watched it, fucking loved it. It was so hilarious. So bad, though. Part 3 was probably the best. Part 4 was Feldman. Okay. I remember when he was there, and he shaved his head at one point or something. This is coming from a true Halloween fan. Jason Takes Manhattan ain't got nothing on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Not a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, huh? I don't remember much about Halloween 2. I remember Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I remember Rob Zombie's original Halloween. I thought it was okay. I thought it was unnecessary. I'll say that. I thought the Rob Zombie Halloweens were unnecessary, and they were very Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie's an acquired taste, and he does some things that I do like, but then he does some things that are just like a little too Rob Zombie. Yeah, I watched your review and just saw the trailer yesterday, and I'm watching it tonight. Awesome. Hope you like it. Okay, well, real quick, I'm just going to do a few plugs, and then if you guys got any other questions, I am more than happy to talk about them, but other than that, we will be done. Per usual, coming up on the channel this week, if you guys are interested, of course, there's Retro Wednesday. This week, I am playing a game called Late Shift. It's made by the same people that made the game I played last week, The Complex. It's pretty much this. It's not the same game. Very different story, very different tone, all that. But it's the same kind of game. It's pretty much an interactive movie. It does have more choices than the Complex did, but the endings can vary a lot more. I do remember that. Or the game itself can actually vary. You can go to different places and everything. It's about a guy who gets pulled into a crime heist, a heist of some sort. I can't remember how. Based on it starts with a stolen car. He works in like a car park or something or a car parking deck, and he gets pulled into this big robbery heist thing, and it goes bad and stuff happens, and it was a pretty neat game. But it's definitely one of those choose your own adventure interactive movies, and we will be watching that next or tomorrow night, Wednesday night, starting at 9:00. So hopefully you guys can turn in for that. We can watch a little movie together. Coming Friday. No, that's a lie. Tomorrow morning, I am not going to have time. Dead Rising in-game is next in line for my video game movie review list. I'm not going to have time to have that 100% complete before... Well, no, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to have time to have it completed by tomorrow morning, which is when I usually release it. So I will release that Thursday morning instead. Now, come Friday morning, I will be releasing a little independent film I got sent to me that comes out at the beginning of February, a horror flick called The Funeral Home. It's a Spanish language film. It's got some freaky shit going on in that movie, and yeah, I'll reserve. You guys can check out my review if you want to know what I thought of it, but it's definitely got some freaky ass imagery in it. And it's an interesting movie. But yeah, it's worth checking that review out on Friday. After that, on over the weekend, I'm going to have a movie that also comes out in the beginning of February called Happy Cleaners. It's I haven't actually watched it yet. It's, I believe, a comedy or about a Korean family that has a dry cleaning service here in the States. I'm sure there's more to it than that. It says it's acclaimed, got lots of, acclaim and stuff. It's English language, I believe, but we'll see. Like I said, I haven't watched that one yet. I'll be watching it tomorrow. And then next week on my video game movie review list, I will be, I've already watched it and shot the review, actually, for Assassin's Creed. We are now in full swing of the video game movie review or video game movies phase of movies that are like high quality as far as production. The movies all have like big names in them and lots of money thrown at them, and they're trying to make them where they look like real movies, if you will. None of them are cheap. All the Uwe Bowls are gone and all that. They're all like, well, most of them are high quality movies, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're all good movies. But there's that. Next week I do have actually no, that won't be next week because it's embargoed. I have a movie that will, I think the following week. I actually have already watched it, called Hellcat, but there's an embargo on it. I cannot release that review until the first week of February, I think. But yeah, that will be coming soon. I got a few other things. That's as much as I have, or much as I want to talk about right now of my schedule. That's till the end or the beginning of next week. And I will have the next episode of the JARcast, episode 2, which will hopefully be more structured, tighter, and better than this one, and definitely look better on... I believe I'm going for Tuesday, just like I did this week. Maybe Sunday, though. So I will put all that information up on my YouTube channel in the next couple of days, and on Twitter. So if you're wondering when it is, all that stuff should be up by this weekend. I have a couple of things where I'm trying to... It was going to be Sunday, it was going to be Sundays, but that may be moved since things changed. If those of you that came in later and are wondering what's up with this janky ass look, and this isn't what... If you heard me talk about this podcast in the past, that's going to be starting, and you said, this isn't what he promised. After this is over, watch the beginning of this video. I explain all that and what happened and why things are very different. Also, before I see the questions or I see comments racking up, I'm going to get to those in just a second before we get out of here. Anybody out there who is a YouTuber, or just really anyone who's part of the entertainment, movie, commentary, just YouTube, podcast, whatever, community out there, if you're interested, I'm going to do guests on this show, people, because I really wanted to have another person on this show. I didn't want it to just be me talking the whole time to myself. I wanted to have someone to bounce things off of and we could talk together. But that didn't work out. So I'm going to be having guests either every or every other week, just depending on how many people show interest. I'll ask some people to at some point. But if any of you, or if you know anyone who is interested in maybe coming onto my little podcast sometime and talking about movies and news and stuff like that about entertainment and having a good time for the evening, let me know. Hit me up in my Twitter DMs or wherever my contact info is all out there. So yeah, hit me up there. I'd be more than happy to set up a time that we can Skype in or whatever. I don't know, whatever you do. But yeah, love that. I'm going to need some names because at the moment I have none. So yeah, we'll need some people to do that because I don't think you guys want to just sit here and listen to just me talking, and I don't want to be the only one talking. I like podcasts that have multiple people in them. Okay, so that's all I've got for this week. I got a few other... I have some ideas for things where this podcast may evolve. I really want to work on tightening it up so it's not quite this long. And as I said at the top of the show, I will be cutting this and editing it up. I actually forgot to hit the fucking record button, so I'm going to have to pull it off of YouTube to do it. So I just noticed that a few minutes ago, and that's irritating. But whatever. I can just pull the video off of YouTube and do it. I'm going to leave this stream up, but I will also be cutting it up into some clips to make it a little bit more digestible. And I will be releasing I'll edit some of the more visual stuff out because it's for audio listeners. I'll edit some of the visual parts out that doesn't make sense for audio listeners, and be getting, I don't know if it'll be this episode, but soon I'm looking into getting actual audio podcasts up on podcast providers. I think that'll be real soon. Maybe this one. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll just essentially take the audio version of this, make a few edits here or there to tighten it up and throw it out there. But hopefully this gets better and better. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let's see. What are you guys saying over here before I go? I'm thinking about having like an after the show kind of like if enough people come each week, question and answer things. So maybe it's not as... I still want to stop and talk to you guys in the chat, but I need to get better about... limiting how often I do that because I break it up a lot by doing that. But I love talking to you guys, and I'm sitting here talking to my fucking camera right now, so I feel kind of weird. Even though I do that every day, just about. But whatever. Not this camera. Let's see. Man, I should do reviews this way. This is like a lot easier setup, by the way. Let's just bust this out. People do that. I feel like I'm doing too much when I'm doing the setup of my reviews. I've got like a whole studio and everything downstairs with like different lights and fucking microphone and all that stuff and light. This is a lot more comfortable. I'm just sitting at my desk. So let's see here. We got oh man, I lost my place. For true Halloween fan, yeah, I watched reviews. Okay, Hell Knight said I like Rob Zombie's first Halloween remake, but his second film, sad face. Yeah, I don't like it. Like I said, I just don't remember enough about the second one. I saw it I think I was at somebody's house when it first came out, and we were just it was on in the background, and we were watching it but talking and stuff, so I can't remember enough about it. I remember it was drastically different from at that time, the Halloween 2 that we had. I will say, I did remember at least applauding him for that, saying, hey, the first movie was more or less like a carbon copy that they expanded on in a few parts. Not a carbon copy, but it was very much stuck to the original Halloween's formula and story. But the second one I think was totally different story wise, and I thought that was, at the time at least, I was like, well, hey, at least they did that. They tried something new. I don't know if it was good or not. Apparently not. Dude, I'm a giant fan of Rob Zombie. Period. I am too. I mean, I was a fan of his music before. I was a fan of his music back when he was White Zombie. I saw White Zombie one time at it was a little venue back when they were White Zombie. It was a city, I don't remember the name of it. I was a lot younger. It was like a city kind of wide concert thing where there's lots of little concerts, performers doing a few, just a small set each, and they were there. Yeah, I've always been a White Zombie fan. My musical tastes are pretty, I like a little bit of everything. Except for country. I'm not a country fan. And I live in Nashville. Lost my place again. Where did I go? On the Rob Zombie thing, though, I was so hyped because I was a huge fan of his. And when he was coming out with his first movie, House of a Thousand Corpses, I was so hyped for that. And I was like, this is going to be the best fucking movie ever. I'm going to love it. I love the way he was hyping it up, saying it was like Jaws never showed the shark, and that was great and all this. I was like, fuck yeah. He's referencing one of my favorite movies ever. This is going to be so hype. I went and saw it. I fucking hated that movie. I thought Devil's Rejects was awesome, and even 3 from Hell was entertaining. But oh my god, the fucking House of a Thousand Corpses was so bad. Maybe I need to go back and watch it, but I have no desire to. I remember hating that movie. I was the only person in the theater. Let's see what happens when Halloween Kills comes out. Yeah. I haven't even seen the trailer for that because that was one of the first reviews I did. Not my first, but it was in the beginnings of my YouTube career, and I said it then, and I still feel like it. They should have just left that shit the fuck alone. I remember them talking about how, we only want to make this one. We have no desire to go on and make all these others. That's why they retconned all the other Halloween movies, because we're just making the one and only true sequel to Halloween, and then we're leaving it alone. And of course, it was a big success, and I liked that movie. And I'm not the biggest Halloween fan either, but I really did like that movie. And now they're making another one. I feel like they're just the first one, I feel like they made it because they had a true love for the series and the story and the characters. This one, I feel like they're making, because they said that shit. They said that, we don't want to make a sequel. We're not going to. We're just making this really cool one. But now it was so successful, they're making this one for money. And I'm not going to say it never works out. Plenty of movies have come out that were made just purely to make money, and they were entertaining, but sometimes that ends badly. The one to see this coming year is Spiral. Yeah, I'm interested in that. That was supposed to come out last year. Chris Rock in a Saw movie. I thought that was odd. Not much to know about it. I mean, it doesn't really tell you much. I don't know if it's like a prequel or if it's after the fact. I didn't really read up on that movie much. I saw the trailer, and when it comes to movies like that, I don't want to know too much about them. So I kind of was like, okay, that's cool. I'll see that when it comes out. And it never came out. It was supposed to come out, but then all this shit happened. So, it's going to come out eventually. Gotta see who makes it. If that's no, that'd be Lionsgate, I think, owns Saw, and Lionsgate is a part of Universal? I'm pretty sure Lionsgate is part of Universal. So I was going to say, is that going to show up on HBO Max? But Universal said that they were going to bring all their movies at least shortly after theater release, they were going to bring them to VOD too. Anyway, 2021. I mean, 2021. What? The one to see this coming. Oh, this coming year. Yeah, I'm still doing that. Don't worry. Spanish, nice. Reminds me of Record. Yeah, Record. I've seen that. Is that the? No, I'm thinking of VHS. I'm pretty sure I've seen Record too. I was thinking of VHS though. VHS is the anthology series. I don't remember much about Record. I remember a little bit of it. Hell Knight, Kratos guy. When your favorite Friday the 13th movie is Freddy vs. Jason, you are not a true Friday the 13th fan. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with Freddy vs. Jason. That was like the movie we had been waiting on for decades. It was like Alien versus Predator. You know, we've been wanting that for so long. Which, by the way, was an awesome comic book. The original comic book of Aliens versus Predator. I wish they had just followed that. Instead, we got what they gave us. And anybody who said that it was bad, watch the second one. You know, then your opinion of the first one will change a bit. But no, Freddy vs. Jason I thought was a good time. I didn't think it was amazing, but it was better than I ever thought it was going to be. It was not as good as I wanted it to be, but it was a whole lot better than I ever thought it would end up being. Right, Hell Knight. It's not my favorite Friday the 13th. Part 3 is, but okay. There's nothing wrong with Freddy vs. Jason, though. I like that movie. It's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie. Kratos, they're all great, though. You told me the other day Freddy vs. Jason was your favorite. Uh-oh, got some drama. We have waited so long for Freddy v. Jason. Yeah, I know. Was it only 10 years? I feel like it was longer. No, it was more than 10 years. I think it was 10 years from when we got that they've been working on, but people have been hollering for a Freddy versus Jason movie since the 80s. And it came out in what, 04, 03? I think it was 04. I said it was one of them. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Don't worry, Kratos guy. I like Freddy versus Jason. I'll get guessed up over and join you. Slick my eyebrows, but you talking about on here? Hell yeah. Slick them eyebrows back. We'll talk about some movies. I want to see you talking to an animated trivia chick. I talked to Triv about that when we were doing our collaboration with Garbage Pail Kids. I didn't get a definite yes, but I think I could talk her into it. I'd like to see that too, and she can do that. She has all that stuff. She's got an animated version of me. I provided the like the parts of the person. I had one of my daughters drew it, and then she took it and animated it. So she actually has an animated version of me somewhere on her computer. Or she may have deleted it. I don't know, but yeah, I bet she can do it because I saw her do a. I think it was with Ashley, the movie Oracle. I think she did her show live. I think it was live. I don't know if it was live. It may not have been live, but she did it like through like a Skype kind of thing as her little avatar. So she's got skills. In my Doc Holliday voice, I'm in my prime. Gentlemen, hey, Movie Massacre's here. What's up, my man? You missed it. I know I just posted that I was doing it live today, like I think like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so nobody probably knew about it, but this is my first episode. It's yeah, it wasn't an absolute disaster, but it went a lot longer than I thought. I stumbled a lot, and I had a whole lot of issues, like one of them being that I'm by myself and I was supposed to have a co-host, but We're not going to talk about that. I talked about it in the beginning. I'm over it. I'm moving forward. Here's Movie Massacre and anybody else who's shown up. Here's my absolutely amazing background that I came up with at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah, look at that. It looks real, doesn't it? You probably think, holy shit, that's his studio. I know. It's just a really high desk right here. But anyway, where was I? Oh, Movie Massacre just got here. Maybe he would do it. He could do like you were saying, Ryan. He could do it. He could come on my show. He could come on the show with his face, because that's just his face. It's not a mask. It's been a pleasure, Movie Massacre. Great first podcast, Jacob. Thank you, Short. I appreciate that. Great might be overselling it, but I do appreciate it. Edgar is here. What's up, Edgar? Man, everybody's showing up right as I'm about to turn it off. What time is it? It's 11:24 my time. Okay, so 11 o'clock is when I need to start my podcast from now on. That's when everybody shows up. Now, it probably would have helped if I had advertised this earlier, but like I said, I had not planned on doing this live, and just when the whole thing fell apart today, the choice was, or I had to make a decision, either I just scrap it and I'm not doing it, or doing it live. So I did it live. And all my plans were kind of like shot to shit. So here it is. Improv podcast. Next week will be better. Probably not, but I'm going to try harder. I have the same issue with Halloween Kills. That I did? Yes. I don't know. Maybe it'll come out and it'll be great. But I just feel like, leave it alone. You guys ended it on such a great note. And you had just that. You had just enough of that, hey, did he make it out of the house? Did he burn up down there? That you could have gone with, yeah, he didn't make it out of the house. He died down there. He burned up. Or maybe he got out. But it wasn't like such a cliffhanger that you had to have a conclusion to it. It was enough to end it on. Just fucking end it. But no, Hollywood can't leave things alone. They can't just say, oh, it's, no, that motherfucker made money and there's more money on the table. We got to get them dividends. Yeah, she would be great. Who? Oh, Triv? Yeah. On your channel. The new fancy stuff. Still waiting for the new Candyman. All excited for that one. I am too. I had that on my list to go see and review, and it got delayed like right there at the end, right before it was supposed to come out. So clearly it's dud. It's just sitting on a shelf somewhere. I imagine, I don't know. I wonder if they'll wait until next Halloween to release that, or they'll just release it somewhere in the middle of the year. I can't wait for No Time to Die. Maybe. James Bond is just so inconsistent nowadays that I'm like, it's either going to be really badass, like Casino Royale or Skyfall, or it's going to be, all right, like Quantum of Solace, or the last, what was the last? Spectre. I didn't really think Spectre was that great. It had some cool scenes in it, but as a whole movie, I wasn't in love with it. I don't know. No Time to Die might be cool. We'll see. There was a lot of drama around that movie about like what they were doing with it when it was coming out. I'm wondering how that's going to work out. I'll see it though. I like James Bond. I've always been a fan. Did you already talk Run, Hide, Fight? I did, Edgar. I did already talk Run, Hide, Fight. Because we talked about, where is it? Oops. We talked about, I think I already closed it. No, I didn't. I was talking about this Rotten Tomatoes score right here, which has actually gone up. But it was like 12% versus 98. We were talking about that disparity there and how that's just fucking ridiculous. There's some funny business going on. But yeah, I got to preaching hard on it earlier. Everybody was telling me to preach and making jokes about sermons and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna. Don't get me started on that again. It wasn't political, but it was. I don't get political. I don't like politics. That was what I was talking about, though. Get your politics out of my fucking movie. Because the politics aren't in the movie. People are projecting their politics into the movie. And that's what I don't like. And that's why people, if you look at all the bad reviews, it all has to do with political stuff that either isn't there or it has to do with the people that distributed the movie. Had nothing to do with the making of it, but who distributed it. I've had people say, here I go preaching again. I've had people say, oh, that movie, I actually have comments in my comment section that say, oh, yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but I can't endorse it. And I think it was a piece of shit movie because it was, they say, made by the Daily Wire and all that stuff and whatever they stand for. And I'm like, who cares who the fuck? They didn't make it, by the way. They bought it after it was already made to distribute. They have the distribution rights. That's it. They had nothing to do with the making of it. But even if they did make it, even if they had all the creative, input in the world on it, which they didn't, the point I made was you can't, if you're going to sit here and say, I don't agree with their beliefs, so I'm not going to like this movie. The movie's a piece of shit because I don't agree with the people who made its beliefs. Then you got to go back and say that you think every single movie that Harvey Weinstein ever produced is a piece of shit because none of us agree with the shit that he believes and he did. And that motherfucker's a piece of shit and he did some fucked up things. So if you're going to hold that true, if you're going to say that I'm not going to like something because of the people who were involved with the making of it, not because of the movie or its content, but because of their personal beliefs, then you got to be across the board on it. That's all I ask. If people are going to be that way, fine. Your call. But you need to be consistent and be it across the board. Because effectively what you're doing is saying, okay, so you do agree with Harvey Weinstein and all the fucked up shit he did. Plus, there's more other people that have done fucked up things. You can't do that. It's a fucking movie. Who cares what the people who made it think? Tom Cruise thinks some really fucking, I think some of it's blown out of proportion, but the guy has shown that he has some really out there fucking ideas, and he's kind of an out there individual, but he's a great actor, and he makes some really good fucking movies, and I will keep going to see his movies as long as he makes them, no matter how fucking nuts he acts in real life. Anyway, I'm getting off that subject. Anyway, let's see, what we got? Edgar, you got me all hot and bothered, as they say here in the South again. Pretty good. Thank you for subbing me. I appreciate it. Who are you talking? Oh, you're talking about Short Sweet. I love it when you do live stream. It's great hanging out. Oh man, I appreciate that. I love that you guys come and hang out. This is my favorite part of the week is Wednesdays, which this is Tuesday, but now I'm going to be doing this too. But I like the interaction with everybody. I really wish I had somebody to bounce these ideas off of though. But I'm going to be doing, like I said, I'm going to have guests. I think this would be better with another person, even if they weren't physically here with me. Just another person to talk to about these things. And I like having that dialogue. And as much as I like having it with you guys in the chat, I think a one-to-one dialogue would be a bit better on some of these things. And then we could also talk to you guys about it. Yeah, Edgar, we talked already about that. Oh, yeah. Quantum of Solace is badass. Oh, yeah? I didn't think it was terrible. I just thought it was all right. It wasn't coming off of, you got to understand, coming off of Casino Royale, it's not as good as Casino Royale. Casino Royale was fucking badass. Quantum of Solace was pretty good. I think Quantum of Solace, the problem I have that I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember the villain not being very memorable. But granted, admittedly, I guess the villain in a Casino Royale wasn't really that memorable either. So, to each his own. Click see score details. It's hilarious. What? Click see score details. Oh, yeah. On the run, hide, fight. Yeah, I did. I read some of them. They're ridiculous. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. The main protagonist did a great job. And Run, Hide, Fight. Oh, so you did get to see it. Good. Glad to hear it. Why is Breach trending? That movie wasn't that good. I have a screener of that movie, and I forgot I had it. It's already out now, and I know I don't really see it. I might watch it one day, but I got a screener of that, and I was actually wanting to watch it. I totally forgot I had that, and I never watched the screener, and now it's kind of like, hey, there's no point in me. I've heard that it's not really that great, so it's like, I got other movies I need to watch. Do I really want to watch that one right now? I'll watch it eventually. I was about to mention Weinstein. Yeah, nobody wants to mention that shit when they're talking smack, though. I really enjoy these streams as well. I really hope they get bigger. But selfishly, that's always the same few every... But selfishly, that's always the same few every Wednesday is also pretty cool. I'll appreciate it while it stays small. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, when it gets bigger, it does get a bit harder to keep track of. It's kind of like my YouTube channel, like responding to comments. I try and respond to every single comment I get, and I don't get like a billion comments or anything on movies, but especially when I have a movie that does well, like that review of Run, Hide, Fight, it gets difficult to keep up with those, and that's how like I imagine the chat. I've never had such a. I take that back. I did. There was one night, I can't remember what I was streaming. Overall, the stream it was. I did okay numbers for my streams on it, but it was mainly that a lot of people of the viewers came in around the same time and started talking like really fast. I could not keep up with it, so I get it, and I hate that. I don't want it to get to the point where I can't respond to everything and keep up with it. But I remember that night for about 20 minutes of it, I just couldn't keep. I had to skip stuff because I could not keep up with everything that was being said, and that'll suck. Because I like talking to you guys. Quantum of Solace was a good movie. The Bond girl was yes, and then that Elon Musk looking villain. He was. I don't even remember what the guy was doing. I just remember he did. Kind of like Elon Musk. I liked Breach, but the concept is tough. It was a very high in-depth religious aspect. Really? Is the movie with Breach the new movie that just came out with Bruce Willis? I thought it was a sci-fi, like alien-esque movie. When that happens, start a Patreon. I have a Patreon. I just never have advertised it because I haven't felt like I could offer something worth people giving me money for. As of yet. I mean, maybe one day I'll have like pre-release content or something I can put on there or something. I don't know. I don't want to have a Patreon and be asking for money if I can't give people something. I just feel kind of... I just want to be able to... I don't know. I want to give something if I'm going to ask for money. Even if it's just early access. I just want to have you some benefits. I'll support you. Hopefully you do the same. I absolutely will, Antonio. Quantum Solace has a special place in my heart. I worked in telecom and was abroad. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses and the screen's far away. I worked in telecom and was abroad for a month one time, and I saw the movie, and a lot of it was shot in Panama. So it was home for a while. Oh, well, that's cool. I get that. And that's what I was talking to. We were talking about hackers earlier, and like the original '95 Mortal Kombat movie. And some of the people said Somebody said I don't see why people think the original Mortal Kombat movie is that great. And I was like, well, I mean, if I saw it now and I'd never seen it, I would probably just think it was fine. It was whatever. But I grew up with it. And it came out in a time when, like, I was all like super hardcore into Mortal Kombat, and it came out. Mortal Kombat was like at a fever pitch, and it was just right what I needed at that time, and it really takes me back to that time of my life. So it holds a special place in my heart, and I think that's why it does mean more to me and some other people, and that's one of the reasons. So I get that sentiment of a movie, you know, going beyond the actual screen and meaning something extra to you. I mean, with Ryan Phillippe. Oh, okay. Breach with Ryan Phillippe. I don't know if I've seen that. Just get on and do a topic video. What? Oh, Patreon? I guess, yeah, you can do videos on there too, huh? I think you could do like live streams through that or something like that, or you have Patreon. I don't really know how it works. I set it up and I never did anything with it. I'm not going to lie. Ryan said, good night. Looking forward to the next JARcast. All right, man. Thanks for hanging out. It'll be next week. It'll either be Sunday or Tuesday. I will release the details at a later date. Earlier than I did this one. Thanks for coming by. Have a good night. What were you watching? Have a good night. Regarding the Patreon thing, I would pay for these streams if they were on a Patreon. Just saying. Oh, well, that's cool. Thanks. I mean, maybe I'll do like, I don't know. I have to look at it. I'd have to see what all my options are on Patreon and what I can do. I thought about it at one point when I was like, I mean, I still want to do this for a living for sure, and I want to get there. I'm not near there yet, but I want to start to grow. I don't know. I don't like asking for money. I mean, I need it. I need to be able to justify this platform, not just YouTube, but the whole internet job thing. I need to be able to justify it, and I know that Patreon and it's not just ad revenue. It's like Patreon and what do they call it, like sponsors and all that. So that's all part of it. It's not just one thing. You have to do all of it to make it work. I've recognized that it's something that I'll eventually have to do. I just don't like asking for money. I don't know. And that's why I feel like I have to like offer something up that you can't get otherwise, or at least something special. I don't know. But thank you, Edgar. I appreciate that. I mean, once you get big, Patreon ends up becoming a site for true fans. And see, that's one thing. Like if I had like, 30,000 subscribers and like things blew up a lot and people, not that, I mean, I love that you guys are always here and these are all very familiar names and I've loved meeting all you guys and that's awesome. But like if I had it to where like there were tons and tons of people that could come on there and like at that point I would have a lot more free time to maybe provide something I felt like would have value on Patreon. Maybe. Somebody told me the other day I need to do a merch store like through Teespring. I thought about it, but I'm like, what merch am I going to offer? I don't know. Anybody want a coffee cup with my face on it? I mean, who wants that? I mean, what catchphrases do I have that I could put on a shirt or something? I don't know if my logo is really that, interesting for a shirt or a hat or a fucking mask or something. Who knows? Waste $2. What's $2 per month? I know, and I have a couple of people I subscribe to on Patreon, and I don't ever. There's the thing is that I know it works because the people that I subscribe to on Patreon, it's only like 2 people. I don't even use the benefits. I never go on there. At $2 per 1,000 people, that would be nice. True that. Support if you want. I mean, I would never like beg people to go, but I mean, I'll probably end up doing that at some point. Just set something up and be like, hey, if you want to support me and my channel, feel free. Don't have to. The NES game. What NES game? I wanted to make a game about my YouTube self. Ooh, where's he at? Movie Massacre. You still in here? He's making a game. Hope I didn't just put you on blast there, by the way. But he's making a game, and it looked pretty cool. By the way, FYI, free promotion for 9 people. I was thinking of that because I kind of wanted to make a game myself. Hey, I should make a full motion video game. There's an idea. I actually have already had that idea. Maybe one day. Maybe a few T-shirts with your ratings, the top ones. I didn't think of that. That's not a bad idea. Like me on a horse or unicorn, maybe. That's like out there enough, because I don't think I'm like popular enough for people to like see me out, see that shirt out somewhere and be like, hey, I know that. But I mean, that thing is kind of out there enough where people would be like, where'd you get that? Japan? What is that? How about the U-turn the intro to your run review into a quote? What was the intro to my run review? Run, bitch, run? I think that's what I said. I wish I came up with that. Run, bitch, run. Skater die. Oh, yeah, Skater die. I loved Skater die back in the day. The NES game. Yes, sir. Well, so yeah, that's that, ladies and jelly spoons. That's my podcast. I guess it wasn't too different from my from my stream. I did want to kind of differentiate this from the stream a bit, and I think I will. I'm gonna strive to make this different from my Retro Wednesday stream, because I don't want it to just be more of that kind of same thing. I mean, I enjoy doing that, and I mean, you guys tell me you enjoy it, but I want to do something a little different. I am going to shoot for next week it being more structured and more planned out. I did have a plan too, by the way, a rough plan. I altered it a bit, but I had like a rough plan of how things were going to go. And like I said, just unfortunately last minute it all went to shit. Always have a backup plan, by the way. I hit myself in the face with the mic. Always have a backup plan, I'll say, because, yeah, that can happen. But, yeah. Oh, you guys are coming in with more stuff real quick. Let me see what you got here. Always do that. Trying to get out of here. It's all good, though. It's not really that late here. I'll end up, and I will be releasing this, by the way, for those of you that weren't in here when I said this. I will be releasing I'll leave this stream up, at least for the time being, but I will release a edited down version of this video to actually just cut out some of the dead space and just have kind of the actual podcast parts of it to make it a bit more consumable. Maybe even cut it up into clips about specific things. I don't know. I'll see what I got when I'm done. And the audio version, whether this episode makes it up on the audio sites or not, I don't know. I'm still working on getting all that panned out. But future ones definitely will. I plan on having an actual audio version and the video version, and like a more digestible version. So I effectively will get 3 pieces of content out of one stream. Hell Knight said, if you had to grade the Die Hard movies, what would you grade all of them? Like 1 grade for all of them, or each one individually? I'm assuming you said each one individually. I would say the first one is great. It's awesome. I'd definitely give that one. I would give the first, in my review scale, that would be a unicorn. Now, you know what? No, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to say the first one would be worth a buy. Only reason is because I recognize that I say that because it holds a bit of a special nostalgic value to me personally. But when I do my reviews, while I do put my personal opinion in there, of course, that's what a review is, I also try and take that out of it some, unless I have real strong feelings about it. I'll try and be like, I feel this way, but I recognize that this is what the movie actually is. So I would say it's worth a buy. Ask me in 10 minutes, I'll probably say it's a unicorn again. Die Hard 2, it's been a while since I saw it, but I would say it's probably worth a stream. It's kind of a mid-range okay movie. It's entertaining, but it's not... I remember it was a big downgrade from the first one, but it's been a long time since I saw that, so I don't Die Hard 3 is up there as it's worth a buy. It's on the level of the first one. Pretty damn close. It's second in line. I like that. That was a surprisingly good third entry into a series. And then the fourth one, which I think is the most controversial. I'm going to skip that one real quick. The last one, the fifth one, the Live Free or Die Hard. No, that's the fourth one. What is it? Is it Live Free or Die Hard? What's the one in Russia? I feel like I've had this conversation on here before. What the one in Russia was called? It wasn't Live Free or Die Hard. I don't know. Whatever it was. The one with Jai Courtney and Bruce Willis not giving a fuck. That one was terrible. That movie was just not good. I didn't like it. It wasn't an absolute dumpster fire, but I would probably call that a check it out on USA Up All Night on my review scale. But the fourth one, to go back to that real quick, and I think most people agree with that last Die Hard movie just wasn't good. The reason I say the fourth one is so controversial because it's like a lot of people are like, oh, it's no good because it's the only PG-13 rated Die Hard. And a lot of people talk about how it's not good, but then a lot of people, it's like very divided. Some people really like it, some people don't. I actually think that movie's pretty fun. I think it suffers in a few spots from the rating. I think they should have just let them have that R rating. I don't think that they necessarily needed to change the movie a whole lot with the R rating, but you could tell that there were a few parts where they had to cut corners, and it's real obvious they were cutting corners because of the PG-13 rating. If it didn't stand out as much, I wouldn't have a problem with it because PG-13 is a rating's a rating, but it was clearly they were wanting an R rating, but they had to cut it back. I think it's a different movie than the other ones because it's like John McClane suddenly becomes a superhero. He's like hanging onto the side of fucking jets and shit and all that kind of craziness. So if you like say continuity wise, do I think it fits in the Die Hard universe? Not really. It has a very different tone than all the other ones. It's almost like if J.J. Abrams made a Die Hard movie, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, as far as just a movie, standalone movie, it was a good time. It was fun. It's been a pleasure. You too, Antonio. It's much different than Wednesdays. Well, yeah, there was no game. Only thought of movies today. Me too. I think of movies a lot of days. Yeah, I wish I had heard about it. I opened YouTube by mistake, and it showed up at the top. Yeah, I didn't. I said it at the beginning, Edgar, and like I said, this will be up if you are interested in watching it. That's great. But I explained the whole situation in the beginning, why this all looks like this, and it's kind of janky looking. This whole thing was supposed to be totally different, and it was also supposed to be pre-recorded, and there was also supposed to be another person here with me. I think I've mentioned that a few times now. I'm kind of self-conscious about it. But, yeah, I had to change the whole entire thing very last minute. I had a whole bunch of plans, all kinds of stuff, like, squared away and ready to go. Wasn't even going to be shooting it right here. It was going to be somewhere else in the house, another spot. But, hey, I had to make a decision. I said this earlier, too, but I had to make a decision as to whether to just scrap this thing I've been talking about for months and I finally scheduled, or just say fuck it and do it myself. Do it live. The clips thing seems like a good idea, more accessible to people. Yeah, that was my thought process. I was going to cut it up, not like a lot, because I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but I'm going to like cut some of the dead air out of it. And like the parts where I'm talking to the chat, as much as I love that part of it, I don't know if that's, when you're rewatching, some of the conversations can be good, but when you're rewatching a stream, the speaking to the chat part is not as interesting if you're not involved in it and not there in the moment. So some of that will probably get cut out, and it'll be more just talking about the specific things about the show. But I mean, depending on how much I have there, I may split that up into like little news segments. I see that. I watch that stuff that other people have. That's what gave me the idea, honestly. I watch a lot of that stuff, or I listen to a lot of that stuff while I'm at work during the day. And I realized that this is like one single podcast, and these people have cut it up. A lot of people do that. Antonio said, Edgar and I will gladly provide commentary. Awesome. Jacob has to provide sloppy joes for the team. I can definitely make sloppy joes. I used to be a chef, so I think I can manage sloppy joes. Die Hard 2 is a unicorn for me. It's my favorite in the franchise. All right, right on, man. Once again, I have not seen Die Hard 2 Die Harder in probably decades, honestly. It's been a long time since I've seen it. So, I mean, I might watch it now and be like, well, yeah, that's better than I remember it. I don't remember it being terrible. I just remember it being kind of not as good as the first one by a good amount. A Good Day to Die Hard, that's the one. Flawless green screen through regardless. If you didn't like the set, yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that. I need a bigger green screen. It cuts off a little short. I'm probably going to order a bigger one soon. I've been saying that. We'll see. One of my kids just popped in. Dad, how long has this been going on? I don't know. Don't you have a thing on there that tells you how long? About to get off. Leave me alone. I think they're wanting to get online with their friends. I'm in the living room right now, and they sit in this room that's right next to the living room on their computers, my two twin daughters, and they get on their little games and stuff and get to talking all loud with their friends online. Man, that makes me sound so fucking old. They get on their little computer games and start playing their computer games on the internets. Well, they get really loud. And I told them, if you do that shit while I'm on here, I'll throw something at you. It's been fun, but it's almost 1 o'clock here in NYC, so I'll see you tomorrow. Is it really? Oh, yeah, it's almost 12 o'clock. I'm out of here, too, in a minute, Short and Sweet. Thanks for hanging out the whole time. I appreciate it. Short and Sweet was the first one here, by the way. Short, you have the designation of being the first person to see, to ever be a part of the JARcast. So that nobody can ever take that away from you. I don't know if anybody will ever want to take it from you, but nobody ever will. Thanks, though. Have a good night. Hell yeah, commitment. What about Bone Tomahawk? Yeah, Bone Tomahawk was a good movie. I liked it. Fucked up movie. That movie's got some fucked up parts in it. Some real fucked up parts. It gets graphic. But I liked it. It's a good movie. It's one of those movies that was like, you hear people talk about it, but like when it came out, like it just came out and it was so good, but hardly anybody heard about it. And it had a lot of big names in it. Cut it out, man. I understand as a fellow creator. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the chat stuff? Yeah. Started at 10 o'clock. Yes, it did. 9 o'clock our time. Have a good one. I mean, the dull moments cut out. Oh, yeah, I will. Talk to you tomorrow. What? Oh, yeah. I'm doing this again tomorrow night. But with the game. She's down for the team. All right. Good night, Short. And my daughter called me old. Shut up. You ain't getting no younger. Can't see anyone else's comment. Oh, yeah, that happens to me in live streams sometimes. I don't know why that happens randomly. When it does happen, I just exit out and go right back into the stream and they all pop back up. I don't know why. That's a YouTube thing. It happens periodically, especially if you're in a stream for a real long time. It starts to happen. It's almost like nobody's commenting and you're like, damn, everybody just stopped talking. No, if that ever happens, that's the YouTube glitch. I don't know what the fuck it is, but anyway, ladies and jelly spoons again, I'm gonna get out of here and get ready for bed. And so I'm well rested, so we can watch a movie tomorrow night called Late Shift. Crime heist caper movie that we get to choose what we do. So, yeah, all you guys that are here, hopefully you come check that out tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, once again, Central Time, my time, whatever 9 o'clock CT is for you. Come back and check it out. It's already up there scheduled, so go ahead. If you run over to my channel, really, I don't know how you get there, but it's already up. You can hit the reminder to remind you in case you forget. Come hang out, and we'll talk about this little movie or interactive movie from Wells Interactive. I really appreciate everybody who showed up tonight, even if it was only for a few minutes. or if it was for the entire time. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the well wishes and everybody giving me the, hey, everything looks good. Much appreciated. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was kind of a scatterbrain mess. I will be doing everything in my power to tighten this up a bit. I'm hoping that this thing goes off and a lot more people start to enjoy the podcast and coming by to listen and watch it. And hopefully it takes off. And I continue to do this. And hopefully in a year, I'll look back at this one and we'll be able to say, man, remember when it was that shit? Remember when it was that bad? It's kind of like my original YouTube videos. I look back at those sometimes and be like, man, you remember that? Hopefully it'll be that. Hopefully this will be a much more refined experience at that point. I'm really looking forward to getting another body on here, or at least through Teams or Skype or something, to talk to. Make this a bit more interesting and entertaining. So I appreciate you guys coming by. Hell Knight, you've noticed that the fifth films and franchises are usually bad, like Die Hard, MI, Death Wish, and Rocky V. Yeah? Which Mission Impossible was the fifth one? You're not talking about Fallout, are you? I really liked Fallout. Or was that the sixth one? The third one? No. Fallout was the sixth one, right? This is Ghost Protocol. I hope you're not talking about Mission Impossible Fallout. I really like that Mission Impossible. But I agree with you with all the other ones. If it was Ghost Protocol, I think you're right. I don't remember really thinking that was that great. No, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I just about agree with you totally with that, Hell Knight. Congratulations on the first JARcast. Thank you very much, Edgar. I appreciate that. I have Teams, by the way. Antonio said. I have Teams, and I've never used it. I take that back. I used it in a collaboration I did, but they had to tell me how to use it. I mean, I know how. I mean, I'm sure. I just never have. I can figure it out. A hard worker. I try to be. MI5 is Rogue Nation. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I didn't think much of that one either. Fallout was badass though. Anyway, you guys know. You guys know I'll talk all night. I gotta get out of here. But hey, I appreciate all you guys coming out for real. I'll learn what I can from this one and make the next one better. Maybe getting somebody else in here to keep me on track will help, because I will fucking ramble. And anywho, you guys keep it real. I appreciate you coming by, and hopefully you guys stop by again next week, and definitely tomorrow night. As I said earlier, got a few reviews coming that are not out yet. They are from my pre-screeners that I've gotten, and I got some other stuff that is that is already out, that's coming out soon. But just check out the channel. I got content almost every day now once I'm doing this. I'm back to that again. What the fuck? And I work a full-time fucking job. Fucking insane. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I will see you all, hopefully, tomorrow night. Peace.